subscribe, like the video, and, if possible, join Patreon. But if you don't have much money, you can support the channel by watching the novels on euroaudiobooks.com. Remember that you can participate in the polls so that your favorite novel gets published for free.
Shattering sound. Immediately afterwards, where Son Goten was lying, the condensed energy barrier of Whis began to crack rapidly. Moreover, this spider web-like crack spread directly in all directions at a speed visible to the naked eye. Son Goten keeps raising his breath. The grass-green energy around the body is constantly erupting from the body. But even so, he couldn't break free from Beerus' shackles at all. After all, Beerus at this time has exerted 100% of his strength. The gap between them is still ridiculously large. Sticky boy, I know you have a very strong recovery ability, but let me tell you now, those abilities of yours are useless at all. It's best to honestly remember that in the face of the sheer power of gods of destruction, all bells and whistles are bullshit. Beerus grimaced, showing a smug smile. I have to admit that the Son Goten in front of me is really strong, and those abilities that even gods of destruction didn't master. But if the strength gap between the two is really too big, these fancy abilities won't be of much use. Only 147 may play a crucial role against opponents who are weaker or slightly stronger than themselves. And Son Goten is still constantly improving his breath. There was a grass-green air in both eyes. Just when Beerus was triumphant again, Son Goten's body instantly began to melt, and then began to decompose in the form of particles. Beerus was shocked again. Nanny? What kind of trick is this? Seeing Son Goten disappearing before his eyes, Beerus couldn't believe it. How could a mere human kid master so many wonderful moves? And each of these moves is really outrageous. The strength of the body is ridiculously strong. Even if his own attack hits his body, this guy doesn't seem to suffer much damage. And even if it was blown to pieces by itself before, it can recover on its own. Now it is even more outrageous. The body actually begins to decompose rapidly. It's surprising enough that one person has so many superpowers in his body. Everyone watched this scene in horror, especially Son Goku. This one is too familiar to them. The evil thought wave at that time had mastered this ability again. It is precisely because of this ability that they have suffered a lot. Unexpectedly, Goten also learned this ability. How did Goten learn so many evil thoughts? Could it be that you have completely mastered the ability of Xian Yinbua just by relying on one battle? If that's the case, then Goten's learning ability is too strong. Son Goku said in great surprise. You must know that he, Vegeta, and Gohan are all combat geniuses. But it is simply impossible to learn the opponent's own wonderful tricks in the battle. Even if they're deliberately asked to learn, it is estimated that they will have to learn for a long time. And he felt that this kind of ability should be difficult to learn, and it should be the ability of Xian Yinbua. But why Goten can master it, and mastered so thoroughly? Although Piccolo and Vegeta were also shocked, they couldn't figure out why. Just when everyone was shocked, Son Goten's body quickly began to regroup behind Beerus. The moment his body regrouped, Son Goten kicked directly towards Beerus. At this time, he has completely exerted his strength and speed to the extreme. Because fighting Beerus, only with 120% of the strength, there is a chance of survival in the past. Cut! I said before, this kind of fancy ability is useless in the face of absolute strength. Beerus snorted coldly, his face full of disdain. Just when Son Goten kicked over, he avoided Son Goten's attack at a very fast speed, then grabbed Son Goten by the ankle. Then a volley flew over his head and fell heavily to the ground. Click! The energy barrier made a crisp cracking sound again. Son Goten's body was smashed to the ground again. Obviously, even a sneak attack would never succeed. The strength gap between them is too great. Wow! A mouthful of sour water spewed out directly from the mouth. Beerus' long heart was also instantly attached to Son Goten's chest. At the same time, a burst of purple energy instantly enveloped his body completely, and the strength also began to weaken rapidly at this moment. Chi-Chi, Sticky boy, those fancy moves of yours are really good. But now I have the power of God to seal your body. You continue to use it to try. After the purple energy completely enveloped Son Goten, Beerus said triumphantly again. In fact, he thinks Son Goten is a good guy. It would be a pity if it was destroyed like this. So he just sealed all of Son Goten's energy and body to end the fight. I didn't want to kill him completely. The energy dissipated rapidly in the body, which made Son Goten feel an unprecedented sense of crisis. Is this the power of the gods of destruction? The body is completely blocked, and I can't move at all. The rapid disappearance of this power made Son Goten completely panicked. This is something that has never happened since traveling to this world. For a strong person, the disappearance of power will definitely make people extremely terrified. Only he can personally experience the dangerous feeling at this moment. And just now, he also tried to use the abilities of Majin Buu and Xian Bua. But these abilities have completely lost their due effect. This made him feel a strong fear of God for the first time. It seems that gods of destruction is much more unfathomable than that shown in Dragon Ball Super. After a minute, Son Goten's strength has been nearly exhausted. At this time, he could no longer support the transformation of Super Saiyan and then directly change back to normal, accompanied by the depletion of strength in the body. Beerus also directly withdrew his own energy. In an instant, Son Goten also felt his own strength begin to return rapidly. It's over, brat. Your strength is indeed beyond my imagination, and you are the most powerful human being I have encountered so far. Such an evaluation is enough for you to feel proud. Beerus stood up, looked down at Son Goten, and spoke. To be affirmed by gods of destruction is definitely the highest praise for most people. But Son Goten doesn't give up now. On the contrary, he is very unwilling. Because he fought with Beerus, he mainly wanted to use scissors by fighting gods of destruction Beerus God skill. It's good now, not to mention being repaired, and I didn't even pick up a hair. This is a result he absolutely cannot accept. Master Beerus, the battle is not over yet. Son Goten stood up immediately and then said, unconvinced, if you can't pick up gods of destruction Beerus God skill today, then your chances may not be too great in the future. Because even if we develop a relationship with Beerus in the future, even if we fight again, it will definitely not be as intense as it is today. Even more unlikely to force Beerus to use all his strength. Now that you've made it this far today, be sure to get Gods of Destruction's destruction ability. Cut. Kid, do you know what you're talking about? Although I can feel that your energy is recovering quickly, it is impossible to recover the peak period just now without a few days. And I have lost interest in you now. Beerus snorted coldly, then said dismissively. He had blocked Son Goten's power just now. Although this guy's recovery ability is very fast, the energy seems to be recovering quickly. But under such circumstances, without a period of 3 to 5 days, the energy could not be restored to its peak at all. So he completely lost interest in Son Goten. If his strength becomes stronger in the future, of course this interest may be rekindled. Whoosh whoosh! And at this moment, Son Goku, Son Gohan, and Kellen also came to Son Goten in a flash. Goten, why don't you forget? You can't beat Lord Beerus at all. That's right, and your physical fitness has dropped too fast. It's not wise to continue fighting. That's it, Goten. We can all see your strength and determination. Also, Master Beerus doesn't seem to have any intention of continuing to embarrass us. Kellen, Son Gohan, and Son Goku all immediately spoke to dissuade them. From the current situation, Goten seems to have been approved by gods of destruction Beerus. That's why he didn't kill Goten just now. But if the entanglement continues, the situation may not be certain. Cut. You guys are a little bit self-aware. Beerus said contemptuously. He really doesn't want to destroy the planet in front of him now, because he admires the kid Son Goten. Maybe in the future, he will become the most powerful fighter in the 7th universe. Destroying a planet is just a matter of choice for him. If Son Goten was PD off for destroying a planet that was of no use to him, this is obviously not a wise approach. Of course, he wasn't afraid of Son Goten. In the entire 7th universe, he's no one to be afraid of. But there is really no need to plant the seeds of hatred in this kid's heart for no reason. Son Goten ignored Son Goku's dissuasion. now that the battle has begun. So if he doesn't get the destruction skill of gods of destruction, it will make him very unwilling. Then he looked at Beerus and said, Master Beerus, I still have an ability. I believe you will be very interested in this ability. That's right, he's ready to use the Ultra Instinct. Although his Ultra Instinct is still not perfect, it is just an entry-level Ultra Instinct Mega. It is also impossible to defeat Beerus with Ultra Instinct. But he also took chances. Perhaps this is the final battle to gain the limbs of gods of destruction Beerus. Oh, any other fancy abilities? To be honest, I'm not very interested, because those things may work for other people, but they don't work for me. Beerus smiled lightly, his face still full of disdain. Any fancy ability is nonsense in front of gods of destruction. No, you will definitely be interested this time, Son Goten said firmly. Then adjust your breath as soon as possible. The originally disordered breath in the body also completely calmed down at this moment. Under everyone's expectant eyes, Son Goten slowly closed his eyes. Start adjusting your breathing. Beerus still looked disdainful. Whis, who can run, seems to have noticed the clue, with a curious look on his face. Could it be? No way. It shouldn't be. This kid is just a human being with relatively strong talent. It should be impossible for him to master the skills of a god. And those violent transformations just now, and that ability should conflict with each other. It is absolutely impossible for an ordinary human being to possess two extreme abilities. Whis looked skeptical at first, and then immediately denied the speculation in his heart. The transformation just now was extremely violent. The breath in the body is violent like an unrestrained wild animal. And that kind of skill that is only unique to gods requires a very peaceful mind. Therefore, Son Goten's transformation just now directly conflicts with that god's skill. Moreover, a mere human being is estimated to live at most 100 years. How could it be possible to master that divine skill in 100 years? And just between with surprise and doubt, silver lines began to rise around Son Goten's body. A wave of divine energy was also instantly born in his body. What? Are you kidding? It's the spirit of God. Impossible. This kid is just an ordinary scion. It is absolutely impossible to master the breath of God. Beerus immediately shook his head in shock. He couldn't believe how he felt just now, although a human body released the breath of God. And this breath is not weak, but quite familiar. It looks real. 3.5, although it is surprising and unbelievable, it seems that Son Goten has really mastered the Ultra Instinct. It's really surprising. Whis was also full of surprise. The guess in my mind just now is unlikely. I didn't expect the slap in the face to come so quickly. This breath of God is really all too familiar. And those silver lines around the body are obviously the primary reaction of human beings after mastering the Ultra Instinct. It's that kind of transformation again. Goten is going to get real. When Kellen saw the silver lines around Son Goten's body, he also became excited instantly. At that time, after Goten used this transformation, he completely eliminated the lightning cell in an instant. It's just that he said at the beginning that he didn't master the perfect form of this voice change. I don't know if I have it now, but it is undeniable that Goten is still very strong now. Swish! When everyone is in shock, Son Goten's eyes snapped open. At the same time, a silver light flashed through the pane. Following that, silver aura surged around the body. The surrounding temperature also suddenly increased in an instant. And awesomely, the Ultra Instinct Mega, although he knows that Ultra Instinct Mega can't beat Beerus at all. But in order to pick up the destruction of Beerus, they had no choice but to start the final battle. Since Ultra Instinct, this joke is too big. This is a divine skill that is very difficult for us gods of destruction to master. And this kid has actually reached the entry level. The complacency and disdain on Beerus's face faded little by little, turning serious and serious. Although such strength still cannot beat him, but a mere human can comprehend Ultra Instinct, which is enough to shock him. 067 picked up the Gods of Destruction skill. Are you interested in Gods of Destruction? Seeking subscription? You must know that among the 12 universes today, Only I have touched the threshold of Ultra Instinct. That is, the imperfect Ultra Instinct realm has been reached. As for the other 11 gods of destruction, even the threshold of Ultra Instinct has not been touched. Although Gods of Destruction has its own god skills, sometimes it is completely unnecessary to learn Angel's Ultra Instinct. But when Gods of Destruction is introduced, Angel will also guide the cultivation of Ultra Instinct. As for whether it can be mastered, it depends purely on whether the practitioner's mind is calm and whether his talent is suitable for cultivating Ultra Instinct. Apparently, those two requirements alone shut out nearly all of Gods of Destruction. But now a human from his own universe has mastered Ultra Instinct. Although it is not perfect, but just stepping into the threshold is already quite remarkable. After all, Gods of Destruction still has Angel's patient guidance. But the kid in front of him obviously didn't have that kind of treatment. I guess it's all on my own. In this way, this kid's talent and comprehension ability can be seen. Shocked, Beerus glanced at Whis. Obviously want to ask him, what is going on here? Why would a human from their 7th universe master the Ultra Instinct? Could it be that Whis secretly taught this brat Ultra Instinct while he was asleep? Whis also shook his head with a puzzled expression. This was also the first time he saw Son Goten, and he was as surprised as Lord Beerus when he saw him use Ultra Instinct. Master Beerus, please teach me. After casting Ultra Instinct, Son Goten said calmly, "This is the requirement of Ultra Instinct. The mind must be calm to use Ultra Instinct. Brat, you are able to master Ultra Instinct without Angel's guidance. I have to say that you surprised me once again. I haven't been so surprised in a long time, but I still have to tell you, even if you comprehend Ultra Instinct, it is absolutely impossible to be the opponent of Gods of Destruction. Besides, your current Ultra Instinct has only reached an imperfect level," Beerus said with a sneer. Surprise is nothing but surprise. But if this kid wants to defeat himself by relying on Ultra Instinct, it is simply a daydream. This is simply impossible. Even if he mastered the perfect Ultra Instinct, it is absolutely impossible to defeat Gods of Destruction. I know. It's just that if I'm defeated like just now, I'm a little bit unwilling. Son Goten also nodded, very self-aware. The imperfect Ultra Instinct Mega is really no match for the Beerus. But his goal now is clear. That is to hope to pick up the Gods of Destruction skill of Gods of Destruction Beerus through this final battle. Aren't you reconciled? Then keep coming. This time I will convince you to lose. Beerus also did not refuse Son Goten's request to continue. Since this kid is still not convinced, then beat him until he is convinced. Anyway, it won't waste too much time. This time Beerus took the initiative to flash out directly. In a moment, he was in front of Son Goten. The pair of fists kept waving, punching punch after punch like a machine gun. Son Goten's body is surrounded by brilliant color aura. Between the small-scale movements of the body, it has completely avoided Beerus's attack. Okay, what a terrifying speed. Is this what Goten is capable of? Son Goku looked at Son Goten in surprise. Although it seems that the speed is not fast, and it is also a very small range of movement. They seem to be able to see this kind of action clearly. But every time, he was able to avoid Beerus' attack accurately. Obviously, this is a very powerful ability, one that they cannot understand. Beerus launched hundreds of attacks one after another, but they were all avoided by Son Goten again and again. Cut! This kind of hide-and-seek battle really doesn't give you any pleasure in fighting. Seeing Son Goten dodging all his attacks quickly, Beerus also said unhappily. In fact, he prefers the fighting style of Son Goten before. There is almost no dodge, and every time I choose to head-to-head with myself, that kind of battle can make his blood boil. Although Ultra Instinct is a pretty outrageous ability, but the body's spontaneous avoidance is a bit too annoying. This kind of battle will make the opponent feel quite impatient, especially someone with a violent personality like him. Whoosh! But at this time, Son Goten took the initiative to attack. The body is flexible like a cheetah. It appeared behind Beerus in an instant, and then an energy ball directly hit Beerus back. However, this energy attack did not cause any damage to Beerus. Not even the clothes were destroyed. Just feel a burning sensation in the back. Goten's attack has no effect on Beerus. The ability he is using now seems to be stronger than before becoming a Super Saiyan. Son Goku frowned slightly and spoke. The energy wave just now didn't even damage Beerus' clothes. This is obviously not as powerful as when Goten turned into Saiyan before, but the movement speed and reaction speed are ridiculously fast. Goten told me before that the ability he has now is only an imperfect level. Perhaps it is for this reason that his power cannot be fully displayed. If this ability is mastered perfectly, the strength should become stronger. Kellen on the side also immediately explained. At this moment, all of them also know that Goten can't win this battle no matter what. At this time, Beerus also frowned slightly. It's time for this boring battle to end. Then he turned his head and used the Ultra Instinct as well. The body flashed out. The bodies of the two turned into silver and purple light again, started a fierce chase collision, accompanied by a minute of fierce confrontation. A figure directly descended from the sky. Then he fell heavily in front of everyone. Rumble! The luxury cruise ship shook violently again. This person is obviously Son Goten. Even with Ultra Instinct Mega, there is no chance of winning at all. It's not even as powerful as Chuanchao 2. Damn! No way to beat Beerus. Son Goten clenched his fist tightly, but let it go again soon. This gap is really too big. Ultra Instinct simply can't make up for it. If it is the perfect Ultra Instinct, maybe it can still struggle for a while. But now, he doesn't even have the strength to struggle. Originally, the energy in the body has not been fully recovered, coupled with the rapid consumption of Ultra Instinct. Makes him almost incapable of fighting Beerus now. However, just when Son Goten had completely lost hope, the system's electronically synthesized voice suddenly rang in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host for picking up Gods of Destruction's God Skill Destruction. The moment the sound sounded, Son Goten was ecstatic. Just now, he had almost given up hope. It looks like this battle won't be able to get Beerus God skills at all. But I didn't expect the system's electronic synthesis sound to sound when my physical energy was about to be exhausted. He always feels that the system guy is playing with himself. But soon, a stream of information quickly appeared in my mind. It's about Gods of Destruction's divine skills. So good. The beating just now was finally not in vain. Gods of Destruction's divine skill, I finally got it. Son Goten's excitement was overwhelming. That's what he's fighting Beerus for. Now that the wish has been fulfilled, the silver aura around the body also disappeared instantly. At this time, he returned to normal. Next, there's no need for him to continue fighting Beerus, because this was originally an impossible game to win. Whoosh! And at this moment, Beerus' body fell in front of Son Goten. Squinting his eyes slightly, he looked at Son Goten calmly and asked, "Hey kid, do you want to continue fighting?" Hearing this kind of question, Son Goten gave a wry smile helplessly. Then he replied, "Master Beerus, although I have exhausted all my abilities and strengths, the gap between us is too great. No matter what I am now, it is impossible for me to defeat you. This battle, I admit defeat." Although he took the initiative to admit defeat, Son Goten's face was filled with a satisfied smile. The battle with Beerus this time allowed him to gain a lot. Not only obtain the Gods of Destruction skill of Gods of Destruction, but also broke through a higher level with the help of the battle with Beerus. This is already a huge gain. Next, there is no need to continue fighting. Whoa! At first, I thought you were going to put up a desperate resistance. It seems that you are not stupid. You know that the gap between us is irreparable. Beerus said proudly. The little guy in front of him finally surrendered on his own initiative. This also made him feel happy. And the hearty battle just now was something he hadn't experienced for a long time. Whizzing! Son Goku and others appeared again, and immediately helped Son Goten up. Then he asked with concern, "Goten, are you okay?" "It's fine, I'm fine now." Son Goten naturally smiled and nodded. His current mood should be better than everyone present. Of course, Gods of Destruction Beerus is also in a good mood, although the Super Saiyan God in the prophetic dream was not found today. But the strength of Son Goten in front of him should not be weaker than that of Super Saiyan God. This battle also made him feel comfortable. So now he doesn't want to destroy the planet because it doesn't make sense to do so. And he appreciates this Son Goten. I don't want to be an enemy of him. Whis, after fighting for such a long time, the physical energy is also consumed a lot, and I need to replenish my physical energy. Let's go back quickly. Didn't you just say ice cream? Doesn't it taste good if it stays in the refrigerator for too long? Afterwards, Beerus looked at Whis, who was not far away, and said lightly, Master Beerus, in fact, there are many delicacies on our planet. These delicacies are definitely something you have never eaten before. You can taste them. Son Goten smiled and said, as a traveler, he naturally knows that Beerus and Whis are typical foodies. And those things that I ate before, compared with the delicacies of the Earth, are completely leftovers. The Earth in the Dragon Ball world is also known as the gourmet kingdom of the seventh universe. After Beerus has eaten the delicacies of the Earth, he should not have warm thoughts about the Earth in the future. Oh, is it so? In that case, I'll taste it. But if it doesn't taste good, I'll get mad. Beerus still spoke proudly. Then the body flashed and appeared directly in front of Angel Whis. Then I took 2 sweet shrimp sushi and pudding and started eating. Once you eat it, you won't be able to stop. In an instant, Beerus and Whis immediately became turbulent. So seeing the two of them, it seems like two foodies. Where is the half-distracted arrogance and arrogance? Everyone looked at Beerus, who had turned into a typical foodie, and it was difficult to associate this guy with 367 with the God of War just now. After 2 full hours of eating, the two of them stopped with still unfinished business. Although I still want to eat in my mouth, I really can't hold it in my stomach. And these are the best delicacies that they have never seen before. If you eat too much, it is a kind of blasphemy to food. Burp, I'm so full. Beerus touched his swollen belly contentedly, feeling that life is really wonderful at the moment. Just had a hearty fight. Now I can eat the gourmet food again, and it's still unlimited. At this time, Whis stood up and walked in front of Son Goku and Bulma. There was a gentle gentleman's smile on his face. Mr. Goten, these delicacies of the Earth are really delicious. If we go back to the God realm, we may not be able to eat it, so I thought, can I pack some and go back to the God realm to eat? The voice of Whis is also very polite, and the tone of this inquiry made everyone feel that they were respected. For them on the Earth, these foods can be seen everywhere, and there is nothing unusual about them. So of course they have nothing to say. Of course, Mr. Whis, if you want to taste the delicacies of the Earth in the future, you can directly come to the Earth again. Son Goten also replied immediately with a smile. Now, of course, we have to establish a good relationship with Whis. This aspect allows him to guide himself in training the Ultra Instinct. On the other hand, you can also find a way to fight Whis. See if you can pick up Angel's superpower in battle, or the perfect Ultra Instinct. Cluck, that would be great. I'll definitely come when I'm free. Whis also quickly nodded with a smile. The days in the God realm are very boring. Moreover, on those planets near the God realm, there is no delicious food. Once Master Beerus falls asleep, he will definitely come to Earth secretly and taste some other delicacies on Earth. Get ready, let's go back quickly, Whis. The battle just now made me feel a little bit tired. I'll go back and take a nap. Seeing Whis talking and laughing with Son Goten, Beerus interrupted from the side. The sleep time was too short this time. Just slept for 39 years. This is because of the dream rival Super Saiyan God. But after a fight with Son Goten just now, he has no interest in that Super Saiyan God now. Going back just to make up for the return sleep. Okay, Lord Beerus. Whis nodded quickly and quickly packed a dozen lunchboxes. Before leaving, I looked at Son Goten and asked, Son Goten, you have power that surpasses all human beings in the 7th universe. This power can almost destroy some of the other universes. The gods have resisted. How about it? Have you ever thought about becoming the new gods of destruction of the 7th universe? 068, teaching the ultimate mind of freedom and realizing the ultimate mind of self. Subscription required. After hearing Angel Whis' words, Son Goten showed a little surprised look on his face. Because he knew that Angel had always been neutral, he didn't expect to ask such a question today. But before he could answer, Beerus had already spoken. Whis, do you think I didn't hear? I'm still standing here. Are you ready to start looking for a new gods of destruction? Beerus cursed angrily. I am now in my prime. Even if I work for hundreds of millions of years, there will be no problem at all. So he would never agree to something like choosing a new gods of destruction. Master Beerus, am I not doing this for your own good? If something unfortunate happens to you one day, you won't end up without an heir. Angel Whis said with an aggrieved face. He obviously did it for the good of Master Beerus, but he couldn't see that he was good for him. It's really a sad story. Bah! Shut your crow's mouth, and you'll have an accident. Beerus cursed again. This guy, it seems that he can't see himself well every day. It's hard to be in a better mood, but when he said that, it suddenly became bad. After scolding Whis, he turned his head to look at Son Goten and said, "You are really strong. You are the most powerful existence among human beings I have encountered. Someday, if I have time and I happen to be interested, I will ask Whis to bring you to the God realm, and we will fight again. But before that, you can train well. If it is still at this level, I will lose interest. At that time, maybe I will destroy the earth." After Beerus finished speaking, he and Whis disappeared on the earth in an instant. That's what he said just now, purely to put pressure on Son Goten. Because after the pressure, there is the motivation to become stronger. Such a good opponent. It is estimated that there will be absolutely no second one. It seems that it really needs to be cultivated well. Although I have no plans to abdicate now, it is still necessary to choose a candidate for gods of destruction. After all, in other universes, some gods of destruction have already started looking for candidates for gods of destruction. He naturally needs to think about this kind of thing. That's after gods of destruction, Beerus left completely. Everyone let out a long sigh of relief. He wished Earth's crisis had been resolved and Goten was still intact. It can even be seen that gods of destruction Beerus seems to appreciate Goten. Chi-Chi was the first to run up to Son Goten. He hugged Son Goten directly. He didn't speak, but Son Goten could feel the warmth of his heart. This is the warmth that no one can give him. "Okay, Mom, I'm fine, don't worry." Son Goten also patted Chi-Chi on the shoulder and said softly. He knew that Chi-Chi was really worried about him, and he was worried from the bottom of his heart. But she is just a weak woman. She can't help anything at all. So I must have been worried and guilty just now. You brat, you can't take such a risk in the future. I scared my mother to death just now. If I lose even you, then I won't have the faith to live in the future. Chi-Chi said in a sobbing voice. This scene also moved everyone. Even Son Goku felt a little guilty. If he had enough strength, such a thing would not have happened. But there is no way his strength back then was no way to deal with Cell. Today there is no way to compare with gods of destruction Beerus. And all this can only be solved by his son Goten. To be honest, this feeling made him very uncomfortable. It seems that his practice is not enough. Okay, Chi-Chi, Goten is okay. And now that things are settled satisfactorily, why don't we go on with our birthday party? It's hard to have today's reunion. Don't let what happened just now disturb us. Bulma also hurried forward to comfort Chi-Chi and said. Afterwards, the birthday party started again in full swing. A few hours later, the sun has slowly set to the west. The afterglow of the setting sun illuminates the earth. At this time, Son Goten's family has returned to Baozi Mountain. They also want to relive the happiness of a family. This is a warm picture that has never been seen before. The family is sitting on the top of the mountain, admiring the afterglow of the setting sun. Chi-Chi, Goten, I'm really sorry. When you need me most, I am not by your side. Actually, I've always felt guilty, Son Goku said to Chi-Chi and Son Goten very seriously. At this moment, he is obviously very guilty. When they needed him most, he was in the underworld. There is no way to give them any help. Son Goten didn't speak. He could feel Son Goku's guilt and powerlessness. Goku, why did we revive you 8 years ago? You resolutely chose not to be resurrected. At that time, did you know how hopeless the earth is, how hopeless we are? And when Goten was just born, we also wanted to resurrect you. But you refused. You science, it seems like you have no idea how desperate we were. Chi-Chi is also very serious at the moment and said to Son Goku seriously. The desperation and helplessness at that time were probably only clear to them. Obviously, they both have very powerful husbands. But I have to live in endless fear every day. Chi-Chi, It's not that we don't want to be resurrected. The reluctance to disturb the law of natural development that was set at the time was just an excuse. Have you ever thought that when we were just killed, even if we were resurrected, we would still be killed by Cell? At that time, it is very likely that he will be angered and destroy the entire Earth. And when Goten was born, we weren't strong enough to compete with Cell. If we are revived, then Cell will definitely come back to Earth again. So once we return to Earth, it will be accompanied by a greater crisis. And Bulma was right when he said that our presence will bring more and more powerful enemies to Earth. That's why we don't want to be resurrected. Actually, those are things that we have thought through. Son Goku spoke very seriously. In fact, they were not unwilling to be resurrected in the first place. After all, Gohan was only 10 years old at the time, arguably the best age. And Trunks was only 1 year old at the time. No father wants his child to die at this age. But even if they were resurrected at that time, they would be killed by Cell. It will even bring greater disasters to the Earth. When they made up their minds like that, they actually felt very painful in their hearts. It's not that Saiyan has no emotion. It's just that the expression of emotion is not so obvious. Son Gohan obviously knew what Son Goku was thinking, so not too surprised. It's just that the faces of Chi-Chi and Son Goten showed surprise, especially Son Goten. In fact, he also blamed Son Goku and the others before. Why can they refuse to save their wives and children? But now, listening to Son Goku's explanation, they really have no other choice. If it was revived at the beginning, it is true that Cell cannot be defeated. Chase cannot avoid the fate of being killed again. What's more, if the Cell is angered, the Earth may be completely destroyed. It turns out to be like this. After listening to the explanation, Chi-Chi suddenly realized, knowing he was wrong about Goku. Well, that's it. But now that Goten is so powerful, he is fully equipped to protect the Earth. I believe he will become stronger and stronger, and he can protect everyone. That way we can rest assured. Son Goku smiled in relief. Goten has become so strong now that he can't handle the crisis that he can't handle. And it is impossible to protect the Earth forever. Now, Goten can do these things instead of himself. So sorry. Actually, I hated you in my heart before. Son Goten looked at Son Goku and said with a little embarrassment. But now all misunderstandings seem to have been resolved. But the word father still couldn't say it out. By the way, even if you go back to King Kai, you should train well. Don't think that the Earth doesn't need your protection just because of my strength. If one day a crisis breaks out on Earth that even I can't solve, you will still have to come back. Son Goten smiled and said to Son Goku and Son Gohan, in this dangerous world, nothing is absolute. Although his own strength is very strong, he can't guarantee whether he will meet a more powerful opponent in the future. That's for sure. Son Goku also nodded with a smile. Looking at each other and smiling, it seems that all the barriers between the two have been eliminated. Time flies so quickly that a day is almost fleeting. Especially for Chi-Chi and Bulma, they can speak. The time of reunion is always so short. At 10 o'clock the next morning, Son Goku and the others had to go back to the underworld, because the time of the day has passed. At this time, the divination mother-in-law also came back. Goku, the time of day has come, and you must return to the underworld. The divination mother-in-law said to Son Goku and the others. Understood, mother-in-law. Son Goku nodded quickly. Then she turned to look at Chi-Chi and Son Goten and said, Goten, protect your mother. Looking forward to our next meeting. Goodbye, Chi-Chi. After finishing speaking, everyone's bodies also disappeared in an instant. Parting after a short reunion is often very sad. Especially Chi-Chi and Bulma, separated after just one day of reunion. This is indeed very unacceptable. But there is no way. They can't stop such a thing at all. Okay, let's go back. Today I invite everyone to have a big meal. Bulma obviously had a better mentality and quickly adjusted his mentality and said to everyone, okay. Lin nodded quickly. Of course, he also very sad for Goku. Then Bulma took them to a top restaurant for a meal. Then Son Goten and Kling returned to Baozi Mountain. Goten, please start training me. No matter how much training intensity is, I can accept it. Kellen immediately spoke seriously to Son Goten. After these two battles, he realized that his strength was simply not enough. With this kind of strength, he can't help at all against the opponents he meets now. It can even be killed in an instant. He had already asked Bulma for help before. But Bulma said that with her current technology, Kling's strength can only be raised to this level. But in the future, she will think of a way. But I can't wait any longer. The crisis of the Earth does not know when it will suddenly erupt. So now he has to race against time to make himself stronger. He really doesn't want to be a burden to Goten. He wants to be at least a little helpful when Goten is fighting. In this case, then I will teach you Ultra Instinct, the way I ended up fighting Beerus. Son Goten also nodded without hesitation. He knew very well what Klin was thinking, so there was no rejection. Really? Hearing that Goten is so generous, I want to teach him such a powerful ability. An expression of disbelief suddenly appeared on Kellen's face. He has seen with his own eyes how strong that kind of strength is. More than 2 months ago, Goten couldn't beat Cell even if he transformed into Super Saiyan 2. After becoming like that, Cell was completely killed in an instant. The strength of that form is indeed outrageous. If he can really learn that ability, his strength will definitely be improved qualitatively. Of course it's true. However, it is not so easy to comprehend Ultra Instinct. First of all, we must achieve an absolute balance of mentality, which is also the biggest requirement for practitioners. If you can't achieve peace of mind, it is difficult to master Ultra Instinct. Son Goten said very seriously, I try. Clint nodded quickly. In order to become stronger, he is willing to endure all things. After all, I have even endured the pain of being skinned and boned when I was transformed. What else can't bear it? Good. Then let's start now, Son Goten said, and began to introduce all the information about Ultra Instinct to Kogujao, Lin in great detail. Although this is very difficult to master, but Majin Buu's super regeneration ability and those abilities of Xian Yinbua are basically their own attributes. It is simply impossible to learn by teaching. So now the only thing that can be taught to Kling is Ultra Instinct. In this way, the two are training desperately every day. The days pass by. All the theoretical knowledge about free energy has been taught to Kellen. And Son Goten also demonstrated the form of Ultra Instinct to Kellen several times. These include the changes in body and mentality after casting Ultra Instinct, as well as perception and experience, etc. After teaching all of this to Kellen, Son Goten also started his own training. When he was in the spiritual time room before, he once thought that he could complete the perfect Ultra Instinct through his own training. But that was not realistic, and he gave up after a while. If you want to comprehend the perfect Ultra Instinct, you need an opportunity. It is difficult to comprehend the perfect Ultra Instinct by training blindly. So now, he puts the direction of training on Gods of Destruction's Gods of Destruction skill. Gods of Destruction's Gods of Destruction abilities are more than just destructive powers. Also includes the true form of Gods of Destruction. In the second season of the Dragon Ball Super manga, Vegeta's self-consciousness is a derivative form of the Gods of Destruction technique. So he also wanted to comprehend that form of self-extreme intention. Of course, if it is only in the form of self-consciousness, the strength is still not enough. Son Goten naturally has his own plans in mind. That is, after you have truly mastered the perfect free mind and self-mind, you can find a way to perfect the fusion of these two divine skills. At that time, not to mention the Gods of Destruction, I guess even if you meet Angel, you will have the strength to fight. Of course, while practicing God skills, you must never abandon Scion's transformation. That's who he is. Ultra Instinct or Ego Extreme is just a hand of cards. 069 Son Goten's Self-Fulfillment. Angel Whis comes again, subscribe. Time passed day by day, and a month passed in a blink of an eye. The Earth also ushered in a short period of peace and stability, and no new enemies appeared. Son Goten and Kellen did not leave Bowsy Mountain from the beginning to the end, and they were training hard every day. Sometimes there is even no time to eat. Chi-Chi prepares the meal and brings it over, or Videl runs over directly with the takeaway. At the very beginning, Kellen couldn't completely calm down his emotions, because there are a lot of things to think about in his mind, and Goten's strength is too strong, which makes him feel great pressure. Because when he thinks that his strength is too weak, if there is a battle in the future, he won't be able to help him. That kind of oppressive feeling makes him unable to calm down. But slowly, these pressures are gradually decreasing, and my mentality is gradually returning to peace. Kellen's mentality should be somewhere between Son Goku and Vegeta. There's none of Son Goku's total indifference or sheer innocence. There is also no Vegeta's eagerness for quick success and his state of being on guard all the time. In fact, it is not easy to practice Ultra Instinct in such a state of not going up or down. It has been a month now. Although he can control his emotions, it can also calm you down quickly, but they can't understand the feeling of Ultra Instinct at all. This also made him wonder for a while whether he could master the Ultra Instinct. At this time, their bodies were sitting cross-legged on two adjacent mountaintops. The expressions of both of them were very calm. It's like being completely integrated into nature. At this moment, Son Goten's expression changed slightly. On the originally calm face, the brows were slightly scratched. Immediately afterwards, the purple experience of a woman continuously rose from around her body. At the same time, tiny purple electric arcs surround the body. A powerful breath of God also burst out from Son Goten's body instantly. Naturally, Kellen couldn't perceive this kind of breath, but he just heard those crackling, lightning noises, then slowly opened his eyes. It is to see the purple flames around Son Goten's body. He knew that Goten's strength had changed again after a month of training. Perhaps soon he will be able to master the new form. Cackling, with more and more purple flames around his body, Son Goten's face became more and more restless. Gritting his teeth tightly, a low voice came out of his throat. "Ah!" With a roar, his eyes suddenly opened. A purple light also shot out from the eyes. Swish! Immediately afterwards, the hair suddenly turned purple. 193 at the same time, the eyebrows disappeared directly, and the brow bone was raised high. In this form, it looks very similar to Son Goku from Super Saiyan 3. It's just that his hair didn't grow as long as Super Saiyan 3, and his eyes looked even scarier. This way, it feels like a villain. Is this the ego that Goten told me earlier? This kid, it only took a month to succeed. Kellen looked at Son Goten in disbelief. Sure enough, people are more popular than people. It only took Goten a month to master the self-consciousness, and without anyone teaching it. But under Wu Tian's careful guidance, although he didn't understand the tricks of Ultra Instinct at all. So far, I don't even have a clue. And just when Kellen was surprised, Son Goten's face was still very ugly. It seems that he is clenching his teeth tightly and insisting on this form. But the moment his face returned to calm, he immediately withdrew from this form. The pupils and hair also returned to their original black. After returning to normal, Son Goten let out a long breath. It seems that it will take some time to perfectly grasp the ultimate will of the self. However, it only took 1 month to master the trick of self-extreme intention, which is already quite good. Whoosh! At this time, Kellen also hurried away and flew in front of Son Goten. Then he said enviously, "Goten, you kid is really incredible." Unexpectedly, without anyone's guidance, it took only 1 month to comprehend such a powerful transformation again. This is definitely the most sincere compliment from the heart. Actually, I haven't fully grasped my ultimate will. Just touched the threshold. It should take a while to master this form perfectly, Son Goten said somewhat modestly. In fact, as long as one has mastered the trick of self-extreme intention, it is equivalent to having fully mastered self-extreme intention. As long as you train well, then you can achieve a perfect state. Self-consciousness and self-consciousness are different. First of all, Ultra Instinct Zhao is rewarded by the System Novice Gift Package, and it is not mastered by oneself. So it is very difficult to achieve perfection. And self-extreme intention is comprehended on the basis of picking up the Gods of Destruction skill. All the information about the Gods of Destruction technique has been completely imprinted in his mind. Therefore, It is only a matter of time to master the perfect self-consciousness. You don't have to be too humble. In this world, you are probably the only one who can possess such a talent. Kellen immediately said with a smile, Goten is indeed more humble than others. Never be proud and complacent because of your own strength, and be defiant. This is indeed very similar to Goku. Haha. Son Goten could only smile awkwardly. He knew very well in his heart that the reason why he could become so deceitful, mainly because of the existence of the system in the body. If there is no system, it is not bad to be able to break through Super Saiyan 2 with his current ability. As for the other abilities he has now, that is even more impossible. There's nothing to be ashamed of in itself. He just wants to better protect himself and the people he wants to protect. By the way, Goten, the self-intention you just comprehended should also be the ability of God? Because I couldn't feel any breath from your body at all just now. Clint asked curiously. Goten told him before that humans cannot perceive the breath of God. This point they also understood from the previous battle between Beerus and Goten. It is indeed the skill of God, more precisely the skill of gods of destruction. Son Goten has no reservations either, because in this world, Kellen should be regarded as his only friend now. So for Kellen, there is no need to hide too many things, as long as you don't tell the biggest secret in your heart. Gods of destruction? My God, you kid, I really don't know how to describe you. Kellen could only helplessly shake his head and smile wryly. Sure enough, people should not be compared at all, and there should be no comparison. Because the ending is too cruel, let me try my current hold on destruction, Son Goten said lightly. In fact, it is not so easy to control the damage. The simplest is to destroy energy. Use energy to destroy anything you want to destroy. Just like Beerus destroyed 10th Universe Candidate Supreme Kai Zamasa before. In an instant, a person can be turned into a pinch of lust. And destruction has other magical uses. For example, by destroying some objects to burst out powerful energy. Kill opponents with these energy balls. The moment the voice fell, Son Goten held it in the air, and a stone the size of a little finger appeared on the tip of his index finger out of thin air. Then he straightened his eyes sharply. Destroy. When a faint voice came from the throat, the small stone exploded in an instant. Rumble. The power generated by that kind of explosion is outrageous. A huge, deep pit with a diameter of 1,000 feet was instantly blasted out on the ground, and the whole earth began to tremble violently. The powerful shock wave instantly sent Kellen flying. All the surrounding mountains were also destroyed. Klin's body was sent flying several hundred feet away before barely stopping. At this moment, an unparalleled look of horror appeared on his face. God, this is too abnormal. The power generated by the explosion of a small stone can actually cause such destructive power. Is this the so-called gods of destruction skill? Kellen looked in disbelief at the giant sinkhole that appeared in front of him. If BGDD, this is the destructive force caused by the energy wave, then he will not be surprised at all. But this is the power produced by the explosion of a small stone. This is really shocking. And Son Goten looked at the surrounding environment and was quite satisfied with the effect. He didn't deliberately want to destroy these places just now. Otherwise, the power of the stone explosion just now would be infinitely greater than this. Even destroying a dozen planets is a breeze. More importantly, the current him can not only destroy such a small stone. It is easy to destroy a planet. Using destruction to explode a planet, that kind of explosive package can definitely swallow a galaxy in an instant, even spread to farther distances. However, just after the ground returned to calm, the roar of the helicopter sounded again. Videl also soon appeared in front of Son Goten and the others. Looking at the terrifying, destructive power around her, she seems to have gotten used to it a long time ago. After getting off the helicopter with a large bag of lunchboxes, Videl said angrily, "If you two continue to train like this, it is estimated that the enemy will not destroy the Earth. You two will destroy the Earth first." Indeed, the valley has been messed up by the two of them, and the destructive power caused this time is even more terrifying. If it continues to spread around, maybe Son Gohan's home will be destroyed. Yo Videl, What kind of food is it today? Looks like I made the right decision to train with Goten. Every day you can taste food that you have never eaten before. Seeing Videl put the lunchbox on the ground, but you also said with a smile, if you follow Wu at Baozi Mountain in the case of Teacher Tian, there is no such good food. Don't touch that sweet shrimp sushi. That's Goten's favorite. Videl said to Klin angrily. The main thing is that after getting along for this period of time, their relationship is already very good, so we can joke around with each other. Okay. Clint could only nod his head. I sigh in my heart, having a girlfriend is so different. Hurry up, Goten, or Kling will eat them all. Videl quickly pulled Son Goten over. Videl, in fact, you don't need to send us food every day. It's too much trouble for you. Son Goten looked at Videl and said, although the two have known each other for several months, and he also knew that Videl must be interested in him. Now I run to Baozi Mountain every day, either to receive some daily needs or to send some food over. This made Son Goten very tangled in his heart. Tell me you don't like Videl. Who wouldn't like such a beautiful and cute young girl? Rich, powerful, and good-looking, but still being chased backwards. To say you don't like it would be a lie. But now he feels that improving his strength is the most important thing. If he doesn't have enough strength, he can't protect these people he likes. And once you have your own family, the ties will be even greater. Do a lot of things, there will be a lot of scruples and worries. The legs are on my body, so I can go wherever I want. And I just want to buy it for you to eat. Whether to buy it or not is my business. And whether to eat it is your business. If you don't try to drive me away, because I'll tell Aunt Chi-Chi. Videl raised his chin and said to Son Goten. In fact, my heart is more or less a bit lost. In fact, she had already expressed her heart to Son Goten. And as long as you are not a fool, you can probably understand why you did this. But this guy rejected him again and again, which naturally made her feel bad. But now, she has identified Son Goten because on this earth, and even in this universe, there is no one better than Son Goten. All right. You could do whatever you want. Son Goten could only nod in agreement. He doesn't want to be nagged by his mother all the time after he goes back. Also, last time you promised me to teach me the ability to fly. You seem to have nothing to do this month, or start tomorrow. You can teach me. After hiding the unhappiness in his heart, Videl said again with a smile. All right, then let's finish eating later. Son Goten could only nod his head. After all, he had promised Videl to teach her how to fly before. Never keep your word. Really? Yeah, that's great. Hurry up. The excited Videl hurriedly urged. After lunch, Son Goten also decided to teach Videl key perception and flying technique first. It can be regarded as giving yourself a little time to relax. If you want to learn flying technique, you must first learn to perceive the ki in your body and learn to control the ki in your body, because any attack or flight is supported by the ki in the body. Okay, start following my movements and slowly feel the ki flowing in your body. Be sure to let your body relax as much as possible. After feeling the ki in your body, then slowly find a way to control them. Son Goten sat cross-legged on the ground, and then explained to Videl seriously. Videl is sitting opposite Son Goten, also with his eyes closed, practicing according to what Son Goten said. In this way, time passed by every minute and every second. 2 hours passed in the blink of an eye. Videl also felt the ki in his body. It's just that wanting to control this kind of energy is not something that will happen for a while. Need to practice slowly and find the balance. And just when Son Goten was just beginning to prepare to continue his training, suddenly there was a very familiar feeling in my mind. At the same time, a hidden, very good breath of God appeared. This breath is Whis. Son Goten immediately identified the breath as Angel Whis. And only him. 070 Whis Devil Training, 6th Universe Gods of Destruction Compa. Subscribe. Videl, you can train yourself here first, and I will take care of some things. If the training is boring, go and chat with my mother. After feeling the breath of Whis, Son Goten said to Videl immediately. Now that Angel Whis has come to Earth, as the host, it is natural to welcome her. After all, Angel Whis is very important to master the perfect Ultra Instinct in the future. Okay, Then you take care of the rash yourself? Videl nodded, a reminder. Then start training. Now she can already feel the breath in her body. So this also lightly stimulated her determination to train. Then Son Goten walked to Poor's side and said, Mr. Kellen, come with me to meet the guy who came to Earth last time. Maybe he can help us master the extreme mind circle faster. Good. Kellen nodded without hesitation. Then the bodies of the two flashed and disappeared in the Bun Mountain in an instant. At this time, Angel Whis had already appeared in the bustling streets of the western capital. Whizzing, Son Goten and Kling appeared in an instant. Whis also looked over curiously. Mr. Whis, why didn't you notify me when you arrived on Earth? Anyway, I'm also the host, so I can be your tour guide. After seeing Angel Whis, Son Goten said with a smile, Hey, Mr. Goten, your alertness is really outrageous. Whis also said with a smile. This guy felt him as soon as he appeared on Earth. It's really outrageous. But this is exactly what he wanted. This time, he came to Earth to taste the delicacies of the Earth. One more thing, that is to take Son Goten to the Gods of Destruction world for training. This is what Master Beerus decides before he falls asleep. Speaking of which, Lord Beerus really values this Son Goten very much. Before going to bed, I specifically asked myself to train with Son Goten to make him stronger. Perhaps he also intended Son Goten to be his heir. Since you discovered it, please take me to taste other delicacies on Earth. To be honest, since I ate the food of the Earth a month ago, I have been obsessed with it. The food from other planets has become a little hard to swallow. Whis continued with a smile. But what he said was true. Since tasting the delicacies of the Earth a month ago, the delicacies they thought they had before tasted completely insipid, even a little hard to swallow. There is a good saying that if you have never seen the light, you can actually bear the darkness. But after seeing the light, then the darkness will be unbearable. Before eating the delicacies of the Earth, those foods tasted with relish. But after eating the food of the Earth, those foods are too unpalatable. Okay, happy to oblige. Son Goten also nodded generously. Even if Angel Whis doesn't agree to take them to train, it doesn't matter. Anyway, eating some delicious food is a very simple thing for him. It's nothing more than wasting half a day. Even if you only have one friend with Angel Whis, it is very cost-effective. Then Mr. Lo Goten. In the next 3 hours, Son Goten and Kellen took Whis to eat most of the delicacies in Western Capital. Seeing Whis gobbling up regardless of his image, Kellen felt a little sympathetic to him. Obviously the master of the most powerful god in this universe. But just a hamburger or a sausage made him excited like an OM. After eating and drinking, Vita did not forget to pack. After preparing a lot of food, I am ready to go back. Mr. Goten, Mr. Kellen, thank you very much for spending such a long time shopping with me today. Then I'll go back first, and there will be a period, Whis said to Son Goten and Kling. He didn't say exactly what Beerus had told him earlier, because he wanted to see if Son Goten and Kling wanted to train in Gods of Destruction. Mr. Whis, can you take us to the Gods of Destruction world for training? Seeing that Whis was leaving, Son Goten also asked straight to the point. If you only rely on yourself to comprehend Ultra Instinct, you don't know when you can reach the perfect level. But for sure, it was definitely a very long time. But with the help of Angel Whis, this period of time will definitely be greatly shortened. Especially Klin, the current strength is still too weak. With the guidance of Angel Whis, there will definitely be a qualitative breakthrough in strength. In the future, if he is not on the Earth, Kellen can also stand up when the Earth is in crisis. Go to God Realm? It's a bit difficult. After all, Master Beerus did not agree. Whis rubbed his chin, pretending to be very embarrassed, and said. After hesitating for a moment, he continued, However, if you can prepare different delicacies for me every month, I can take you to the God Realm for training at the risk of Lord Beerus scolding me. Anyway, they're going to take them to the God Realm for training. It's better to blackmail now. In the future, we will also be able to taste more delicacies from the Earth. Forehead. It's too casual, Kellen said with a dull face. Okay, I will handle it. Son Goten nodded immediately. He is well aware of the appeal of food to Beerus and Whis. Then let's go now. Whis also had a happy look on his face. Taking them to the temple for training was originally what Master Beerus meant. It's so cool to be able to extort a sum of money now. I wonder what kind of food Son Goten will choose next time. It's really exciting. Under the leadership of Angel Whis, it took the three of them nearly half an hour to reach the God Realm, because the Earth is too far away from the gods of Destruction World. Even if Angel Whis has the fastest speed in the universe, it will take 26 to 7 minutes. The so-called gods of Destruction World is actually a purple planet. The soil on the ground, the surrounding peaks, and the flowers and trees are almost all purple. Even the palace of the gods of Destruction Beerus is purple. Mr. Goten, Mr. Kling, here we are, Whis said enthusiastically. In fact, he was still very happy at this time. After all, in this lonely god realm, he and Master Beerus have lived for hundreds of millions of years. Master Beerus slept most of the time. Therefore, in many cases, he is the only one in the god realm. Even Angel feels lonely. Well now, with Goten and Kling, it shouldn't be too lonely in a short time. This lifeless god realm will also be lively for a while. Is this where the gods of destruction live? Kellen looked around, and it seemed that there was nothing special except that the surroundings were purple. Moreover, the gravity of the gods of Destruction World seems to be similar to that of the Earth. Mr. Whis, let's use our names from now on. After all, we are too young in front of you, Son Goten said to Whis. You know, Whis is an old monster that has lived for hundreds of millions of years. And myself plus the previous life, I have only lived for 30 years. More importantly, Whis has his own unimaginable power zone. To be called Mr. by such a person feels somewhat unnatural to him. Just like when Supreme Kai called him Mr. All right. Goten Kling. Whis also did not refuse and said directly. Then, looking at Son Goten, he continued to smile and said, Goten, the purpose of your coming to God Realm this time should be to better master Ultra Instinct. During the last battle with Master Beerus, you have mastered the form of Ultra Instinct Mega. According to your personality, you should pursue the perfect Ultra Instinct. Hearing that Whis is so straightforward, Son Goten feels that there is nothing to hide. He just nodded and said, Yes, I really want to master the perfect Ultra Instinct, so I also hope that Whis will help with training first. Now, there is only Whis who can help him complete the perfect Ultra Instinct. Or train with Whis, or a fight with Whis. Maybe in the fight with Whis, you can pick up the perfect Ultra Instinct. You are really direct, but I like your direct character. In the first month, I will give you the most basic physical training. Goten, you are also very clear that Ultra Instinct Zhao needs a strong body as a support. To master the perfection of Ultra Instinct at the initial stage, it also requires strong physical support until the perfection is gradually mastered. Whis is very serious at this time. In fact, the benefits of basic training are far more than that. Because the last time Goten and Master Beerus fought, he discovered that Goten's Super Saiyan transformation was an increase in basic strength. That is to say, the stronger his basic strength, the stronger he will become after transformation. So for him, basic strength is the most important thing. Clear. Please begin. Both Son Goten and Kling nodded very seriously. Not everyone is qualified to be trained by Angel Whis. Well, but you must be prepared. My next training will be very dangerous and very difficult. Whis smiled mysteriously. Then the staff in his hand tapped the ground lightly. The ground that was full of potholes just now turned into a very flat runway in an instant. At this time, in front of the two of them, a thing similar to the big weight appeared. As for Flower Zero, okay, today's training is for the two of you to run 100 kilometers with this thing. Whis looked at the two and said, Is this an iron block? Is this kind of training effective? Kellen looked at the big iron block in front of him and asked with some doubts. For ordinary people, such an iron block may be very heavy. But if the strength reaches their level, especially if they reach Goten's level, there is no such piece of iron at all. What weight? But Son Goten on the side doesn't think so. In the Dragon Ball Super Original, Son Goku and Vegeta also received such training. Their strength at that time was far stronger than Kling's now. The iron block in front of me looks like nothing, but it is definitely very heavy. Whis also knew his own strength, so naturally he would not fool himself with a piece of iron. Sure enough, after hearing Kellen's suspicious tone, Whis quickly spoke up. "Klin, don't underestimate this thing. This is no ordinary iron block. This is something I made out of the extreme strength you two possess. That is to say, the two of you must exert your limit strength to be able to pick it up. By the way, the moment your training starts, the road behind you will disappear little by little. Once your speed slows down, you will fall into another dimension forever and cannot get out. Now, get ready to begin." After Whis' voice fell, Son Goten and Kellen didn't even have time to think about it. The staff in his hand lightly tapped. A golden halo instantly spread out. Immediately afterwards, the ground behind the two began to disappear rapidly at a speed visible to the naked eye. Where the ground disappears, the graduation is unfathomable abyss. "Let's go, Kling." Son Goten also became serious in an instant. After a lot of effort, the two of them finally picked up the big iron block. Just picking it up already makes them sweat. "Heck, it's too heavy. It seems that I was short-sighted just now," Kellen said with a painful face. But in order not to fall into the different space forever, the two could only grit their teeth and move forward desperately. In this way, time goes by day. The two perform the most basic training every day. A month has gone by so quickly. During this month, Son Goten did not use any Super Saiyan transformation at all. Almost all of them are doing the most basic training. Of course, all the hard work pays off. He could feel that his basic combat power had improved qualitatively. After becoming a Super Saiyan, the strength will definitely become even stronger. But now, in addition to their daily basic training, they will also do a few simple tricks with Whis. It's just a pity that the system has not reduced any angel skills of Angel. Son Goten also understands that things should never be rushed. "Goten, Kellen, today's basic training is to run 5,000 kilometers in a weight suit and then do 15 push-ups." Early in the morning, the three of them started training. With a wave of the staff in Whis' hands, a very bulky costume appeared on the two of them. Looks a bit like astronauts in special uniforms. But that terrifying gravity almost crushed the two of them. This is also the gravity exerted according to the ultimate strength of the two. "You two, you can start," Whis said with a smile. Then two figures also flashed out like lightning. Whis found a stone and sat down comfortably, and then began to taste delicious food. This month's time has been quite lively. It's completely different from the boringness that was hundreds of millions of years ago. Whis, as an angel, actually enjoys this lively atmosphere quite a lot. An hour later, the weight-bearing long-distance run was over. Next is weighted push-ups. This kind of push-up is not easy. You have to make your body completely upside down, and then you can only use one thumb to complete tens of thousands of push-ups. But in order to become stronger, the two of them have no complaints. And Kellen is even more motivated. 99,998. 99,999. The two of them were already sweating profusely. There is still one more thing to go, so I can only grit my teeth and stick to it. Just when getting ready to make the last one, Whis suddenly raised his head and glanced at the sky. Then he frowned slightly. In the next second, a brilliant streamer of light slanted down directly from the sky. Whoosh! Rumble! The moment the brilliant streamer hit the ground, the entire Gods of Destruction world trembled violently. Son Goten and Kellen, who had already gritted their teeth, were also directly knocked to the ground. "Hey, why is Master Compa here?" Whis raised his eyebrows and muttered. 071 Gods of Destruction Compa's challenge. Son Goten, I challenge, subscribe. He already knew the breath of Lord Gods of Destruction Compa and couldn't be more clear. And Sister Vados. Among the 12 universes, the 6th universe is the one that communicates with the 7th universe. What's going on? Was it an earthquake just now? After Clint stood up, he scratched his head, and a spire-shaped blood bubble was directly knocked out on his big bald head. And this familiar scene did not make Son Goten feel any surprise, because just now, he felt two powerful breaths of God. One of them is very similar to Gods of Destruction Beerus, while the other breath is very similar to Whis. Obviously, it must be the Gods of Destruction Compa and angel Vados of the 6th universe who suddenly descended on the planet gods of destruction. In the Dragon Ball Super original book, except for these two who have been to the gods of destruction world of the 7th universe, no other gods of destruction has been here. So, what's going on? Why are you two not talking? Kellen looked at Son Goten and Whis, feeling even more puzzled. Didn't both of them feel the shock just now? And at this moment, Beerus' violent voice also sounded. Whis, what the hell are you doing, UBD? The irritable sound was accompanied by a violent explosion. Rumble! The temple was directly blasted with a gap, and Beerus flew out wearing his light blue pajamas. It's just that this guy obviously didn't wake up and looked around sleepily. But soon his eyes were locked outside the door, because he felt a familiar breath. That's right, this smell is still as annoying as ever. At this time, Beerus also rushed out of the gate directly by relying on getting up. The moment the door was blasted open with an energy wave, the Kampa outside the door was almost blown away. Fortunately, this guy is also agile enough to dodge 793. However, his face was still darkened by the energy wave. Hey, Skinny, you guys are actually going to die. It's a bit too much. Kampa cursed at Beerus with a dark face, although the two of them are not in harmony on weekdays. But after all, they are brothers whose blood is thicker than water. I didn't expect this guy to make such a big fuss as soon as we met and almost sent him away. Unacceptable. Who are you? Looking at the dark-faced gods of destruction Kampa, Beerus scratched his nose and asked knowingly. I'm Kampa. Kampa forcibly suppressed the anger in her heart and said to Beerus, although this guy looks very proud now, but after a while, I will let him feel the hopelessness that is beyond redemption, because this time I brought my secret weapon, which is the most delicious food in the 6th universe. After Beerus eats this delicacy, he will be absolutely speechless. After thinking of this, most of the anger in my heart disappeared. So it's Kampa. Why did you become such a ghost? Also, why don't you stay in your own 6th universe and come to my 7th universe? Beerus asked with a cold face. Although they are brothers, they have always been at odds with each other. Millions of years ago, they would fight if they disagreed. But since Master Zeno banned fighting among gods of destruction, they never fought again. It's just that the later contest was replaced by a contest between delicacies. After all, both of their brothers are typical foodies. Chi. Kampa showed an extremely wretched smile. Then he said proudly, the purpose of my visit this time is naturally to let you taste the real gourmet food of our 6th universe. Let you understand that our 6th universe is the real gourmet kingdom. Cut. Beerus casts a dismissive glance at Kampa. In previous gourmet competitions, the 6th universe and the 7th universe were almost tied. Because the two universes are extremely similar, the distribution of universes and the planets are very similar. Therefore, the cuisine between the two universes is also similar. But now, he discovered the real gourmet kingdom of the earth. So now in the food competition, he has absolute confidence. Stop laughing, Kampa. What delicacies can you have in your 6th universe? But since you're here, I'll let you taste the delicacies of our 7th universe. After Beerus' faint voice fell, he turned back to the temple. Gods of destruction Kampa and angel Vados are also close behind. After seeing gods of destruction Kampa and angel Vados, Kellen's face suddenly showed incredible surprise. What? Why does that guy look so much like Lord Beerus? There's also the woman next to her, whose appearance and dress are 70% similar to Whis. Goten, do you know about their relationship? Kellen lowered his voice and asked Son Goten. Although Goten was also born on the Earth and hadn't left the Earth much before, but he always felt that Goten knew a lot. He even felt that Goten knew guys like gods of destruction and angel very thoroughly. It looks like that fat man should be Lord Beerus' brother. As for the girl who looks similar to Whis, it should be his sister Ba. Perhaps they are gods of destruction and angels from other universes. Son Goten said lightly. Of course, he spoke to Kling speculatively. After all, if you say it too surely, it will make Whis doubt himself. Who? Goten, Your guess is really accurate. The one who looks similar to Lord Beerus is indeed Lord Gods of Destruction Kampa from the 6th universe. As for the one behind him, he is an angel like me, and he is my sister Vados. After hearing Son Goten's speculation, Whis was also a little surprised. But soon he opened his mouth and explained to the two of them. After all, in his opinion, Son Goten and Kellen are already his apprentices, and there is no need to hide this well-known relationship from the two of them. 6th Universe Gods of Destruction? Clint had a puzzled look on his face again, because he had no concept of universe before. I always thought that there was only one universe, and Gods of Destruction Beerus is the most powerful existence in this world. But I didn't expect that there would be a brother of Gods of Destruction Beerus, also Gods of Destruction, and also the Gods of Destruction of the 6th universe. This seemed to be completely beyond his expectations. At this time, Son Goten turned his attention to Vados. Her outfit is exactly the same as in Dragon Ball Super. Angel uniform with dark green and black, holding angel staff in hand. His expression was cold and proud. With a long silver ponytail, his facial features and figure were almost perfect. I have to say that Vados looks really good. The only downside is that Son Goten can't appreciate his light blue complexion. Then when Son Goten admired Vados, Vados and Kampa had already walked in front of them. Long time no see, sister. Whis also greeted Vados very politely. After all, Vados was his own sister. And among so many angels, the two of them should have the best relationship. Well, long time no see, Whis. Vados also had a sweet smile on his face and said to Whis. After finishing speaking, he looked curiously at Son Goten and Kellen beside him. Then he asked, "Are these two humans' apprentices accepted by Lord Beerus? Or is it the Gods of Destruction candidate selected by your 7th universe?" After asking, Vados looked at Son Goten and Kellen curiously. That little bald head with no nose didn't seem to be anything special. But another little guy, there seems to be a powerful force hidden in his body. And vaguely, I can feel something familiar, although surprised, but soon relieved. Since these two guys can go to the Gods of Destruction world for training, then it must be Whis who trained them. After all, he knew Lord Beerus very well. The degree of laziness is not weaker than Mr. Kampa, and even more lethargic than Mr. Kampa. Almost a hands-off shopkeeper, so it's no surprise that there's something familiar about the body. Yes, it is. Both of them are disciples of Master Beerus. If you perform well, you may become a candidate for Lord Beerus. Whis didn't hide it either, but nodded directly and said, "After all, in many universes, many Gods of Destruction have already started looking for candidates for themselves. It's pretty good." Vados looked at Son Goten again, smiled and said, "Wahahaha, is Beerus skinny, sleeping stupid? I actually found such two idiots as my candidates. I don't think they have a little bit of power." Gods of Destruction Kampa taunted mercilessly as he watched Son Goten and Klin move slowly because of their weight suits. I didn't expect that skinny Beerus to degenerate like this. These two mascots were chosen to be candidates for their universe Gods of Destruction. Lord Kampa, don't judge people by their cover. Our candidates for Gods of Destruction after the 6th universe may not be as good as them. Vados reminded in a soft tone. The little guy with the hedgehog hairstyle in front of him will definitely not be too weak in future achievements. Son Goten didn't take Gods of Destruction Kampa's taunts seriously at all. This stuff is Gods of Destruction anyway. What's more, he is Beerus' blood brother. Although they seem to quarrel a lot on weekdays, the friendship between brothers is not very good. So it's best not to conflict with Gods of Destruction unless necessary. Especially Gods of Destruction Kampa. If he wants to ridicule a few words, let him ridicule a few words. Anyway, I don't feel pain. A few minutes later, everyone had already reached the hall of the temple. The story is just like what happened in Dragon Ball Super. Kampa started showing off their 6th universe's gourmet egg dong-dong. Then he was easily suppressed by Beerus with a bucket of instant noodles. Next, it was Kampa who challenged Beerus. "Hey Beerus, do you dare to compete with me? If I win, then your 7th universe's Earth will belong to our 6th universe. If you lose, I will give you all the 6 super wishing beads I collected before. After tasting the gourmet food of the Earth, Kampa also began to think about the Earth. If you can take the Earth of the 7th universe as your own, then they can eat the best food every day in the future. Cut. Stop talking nonsense here, you fat pig. You need to collect all 7 super wishing beads before you can make a wish. What's the use of your 6? Besides, just because you want to compete with me? Beerus said with a look of disdain. He didn't take Kampa seriously at all. Moreover, the so-called super wishing beads didn't work for him at all. As for the Earth, he will not give it up, or exchange the Earth for a few stones that are useless to him. Chi. You don't dare to compete, do you, Beerus? I knew you were a complete coward. I don't dare to compete with our 6th universe at all. Kampa directly used the aggressive method. Beerus is skinny. The most unbearable thing is being looked down upon. Cut. Your aggressive method is really clumsy. Okay, if there is nothing else, go back to your 6th universe. Beerus wasn't fooled, because this aggressive method was too bad for him. Giggle skinny. If you throw in the towel right now and give us the Earth, I'll leave. Kampa is also directly shameless. In front of food, what is the face? More importantly, he has always been known as a scoundrel, so it's nothing to him at all. Beerus' expression changed, but looking at Kampa's dead pig's expression that is not afraid of boiling water, there is nothing wrong with it. After all, the gods of destruction now expressly prohibit private fighting. Once there is a battle between gods of destruction, both universes will eventually perish. Even if they are gods of destruction, this is a responsibility and consequence that they cannot afford. Afterwards, Beerus could only ask, let's talk. How about a competition? In fact, scolding is scolding. Beerus still cares about this brother, who often makes him angry. It's very simple, because we, the gods of destruction, cannot fight privately. So it is not us who are fighting this time. We select 5 contestants from their respective universes. As for the bet, it's the Earth and the super wishing beads I mentioned before. 0.8 Kampa said with a face full of success. Then he looked at Son Goten and Kellen not far away. I am very happy. The 7th universe can even become Beerus' apprentice, so the strength of other humans in the 7th universe is completely conceivable. So this time the competition with the 7th universe was a breeze, without any suspense. Beerus thought for a while. He doesn't really know much about the 6th universe. As for whether there are powerful humans in the 6th universe, he doesn't know. So this time, he is not sure about the game. But after looking at Son Goten next to him, he felt a lot more at ease. This kid has 1/10 of his power. Moreover, after Whis training during this period of time, his strength seems to have become stronger. No matter how strong the humans in the 6th universe are, they should not be able to become Son Goten's opponents. As long as he competes, the 7th universe will not lose Son Goten. Do you want to play against the 6th universe? If there is a competition, will you participate in this competition? He had to ask Son Goten for his opinion in advance. If this kid doesn't participate, then the 7th universe has no chance of winning. But once Son Goten participates, the 6th universe will undoubtedly lose. Because even the current Kampa may not be able to defeat Son Goten without using the gods of destruction skill. Since it is a battle to determine the ownership of the Earth, it has something to do with me. I will participate in this game. Son Goten nodded calmly. In fact, taking the Earth as a bet made him a little reluctant. But the matter between gods of destruction, the current him really has no way to stop it. If so, then enter the competition. Beat the guys from the 6th universe. Maybe if you're lucky, you can even pick up some flash skills. 072 Trunks and Black Goku appear in the future. Subscription required. After hearing that Son Goten agreed to participate so decisively, Beerus did not hesitate. Okay, then we promise you, fat pig, but you must be prepared to lose. Beerus naturally has confident credentials. After all, now Son Goten already has the power of gods of destruction. It is not easy to handle a few humans in the 6th universe. Giggle. Thought you would be a coward, Beerus. I didn't expect you to still have the atmosphere, but the loser will definitely not be our 6th universe. You should think about how to adopt the Earth to us. Kampa also had a triumphant smile on his face. although he is not very clear about the comprehensive combat power of his own universe human beings. But after looking at the two apprentices of Beerus, he was not worried at all. After all, these two guys look silly, and they look so bulky. Not even a fighter. The seventh universe seems to be just like that. Cut. Just don't cry when the time comes. Beerus didn't bother to continue to pay attention to Compa. Anyway, as long as Son Goten participates in this competition, the sixth universe will definitely lose. Snort. Don't get too excited, Beerus. I'll give you 10 days to prepare. After 10 days, we will hold a competition on the unknown planet. Let's go, Vados. After Compa finished speaking proudly, she took Vados and left. Thinking that I can get the Earth of the seventh universe in 10 days, it is really a very happy thing. And wait for Vados and Compa after they leave. Whis said to Beerus. Master Beerus, isn't the decision just now too reckless? If the sixth universe also has human beings with extraordinary talents, we may not be able to obtain it. When? And you should have explained all the rules of the game clearly. Although he does not deny the power of Son Goten. And even in other universes, it's hard to find a warrior as strong as Son Goten. But there are no rules for customized competitions. Sometimes it is difficult for Sonny alone to decide the victory of all contests. I can ignore other people's provocations, except Compa's fat pig. Son Goten, you must win the game. Beerus snorted coldly, then said to 16 Son Goten, Master Beerus, there is no problem in winning the match. However, I also have one condition. That is, after winning the game, can the Super Wish belong to me? Son Goten spoke up. Super wishing beads don't do much for gods of destruction, Beerus. And now that Earth has so much good food, Beerus doesn't seem to have much to wish for. But for Son Goten, it was of great use. It is very important to improve the strength. At least the strength must be raised to the level above angel. In this world where the strong are like clouds, perhaps it is possible to live a little more nourished. And for this, Super Shinron should be able to help. Okay, as long as you can win the game, humiliate that fat pig Compa. The super wishing bead is yours. Anyway, that thing is not very useful to gods of destruction. Gods of destruction, Beerus agreed, without thinking, because he really can't think of what kind of wish to make with the super wishing beads. These Lord Beerus. Son Goten also hastened to express his thanks. With the Super Dragon Ball, his strength will definitely be further improved. You should hurry up and train hard. Don't embarrass me when the time comes. It seems that I didn't wake up just now. I will go to catch up with it. Beerus yawned and went back to his temple to sleep after finishing speaking. Then let's continue training, Whis said to the two of them. Whis, we've been here for a whole month, and I want to go back to Earth to take a look. It's good that my mother and the others don't have to worry. Son Goten is going back to Earth. It's been a whole month since I left. If there are some crises on the Earth, he can't predict them at all. And Chi-Chi and Videl must be very worried now. Sure, I'll take you there. Whis nodded without hesitation. And kindly send them back. Of course, Whis naturally has his own plans in mind. During this period of time, the delicacies brought over last time have almost been eaten. After this time, just in time to taste some fresh delicacies. Then pack some more, by the way. Okay, then trouble. Although Son Goten knew what Whis was thinking, he didn't mean to throw himself and cling back. 100% food for the Earth. But Son Goten said very politely. In the past month, Whis has been very attentive to their training, and the three get along well. For that alone, Whis should be thanked. You don't have to be so polite with me. Anyway, we are friends now, Whis said out of embarrassment. After all, he wanted to go to Earth this time entirely for the food. Half an hour later, the two returned to Earth again. This time, the three of them appeared directly in Shidu. Goten, I suddenly felt a very weak breath. It's not like the breath of ordinary Earthlings. As soon as he arrived in Shidu, Kellen said to Son Goten. The moment he entered the western capital, he suddenly felt a strange breath. This breath must have been very strong originally, but it may be due to the injury, so it has become extremely weak now. Well, I seem to feel it too, and the place where the breath comes out seems to be Aunt Bulma's capsule company. Son Goten also nodded and said, Whis, why don't you go around and look for delicious food first? The two of us felt a strange aura just now, and now we have to go over to see what's going on. Son Goten said to Whis. Okay, I'll go find you after I pack the food. Whis also nodded without hesitation. He has no interest in the world on Earth. What he is most interested in is whether he can discover the best delicacies that he has never eaten before. After finishing speaking, Son Goten took Kellen an instant transmission. Appeared directly at Bulma's capsule company. Whizzing. At this time, Bulma was wandering anxiously in the yard. Goten Kling. Great, you're here. Seeing Son Goten and Kellen suddenly appear, Bulma's anxious face showed a happy look. What's the matter? Aunt Bulma, has something happened? We just felt a very faint breath coming from the capsule company. Son Goten also asked immediately. Looking at Bulma's anxious expression just now, it's obvious that something big has happened. It's Trunks. He just came back with bruises all over his body. I didn't know what to do just now. It's great that you can come. Bulma spoke immediately. Just a few minutes ago, Trunks suddenly appeared in the yard in a time machine and covered with scars. He passed out immediately after coming out of the time machine. It scared her enough, but I couldn't contact anyone else, so I was very anxious. Trunks, didn't he follow Vegeta and Goku to the planet King Kai? Klin looked at Bulma with a puzzled look and said, but Son Goten understood right away what was going on. The Trunks that Bulma is talking about are not small Trunks of this plane. Instead, they're the future Trunks who travel from the future time and space in a time machine. In other words, Zamasu from the future time and space appeared, and Trunks came to this time and space for help. But logically speaking, when fighting Cell at that time, future Trunks also participated in the battle. He should know that Son Goku and Vegeta were all killed by Cell. Why do you still come to this time and space for help? I'm talking about the future Trunks. Goten, hurry up and take a look, Bulma explained, and then said to Son Goten anxiously. Maybe it's the reason why I lost Trunks since I was a child. So just seeing Trunks in the future with such a serious injury made her feel very painful. Don't worry, Aunt Bulma. I can feel the breath of Trunks, and he'll be fine. After Son Goten comforted, he walked directly into the room, then saw the future Trunks lying on the bed. At this time, he was covered in scars, and the blood almost stained his entire body red. At this moment, he was still frowning, clenching his teeth tightly, with an angry and fearful expression. Goten, why don't you go to Kalina and bring back some fairy beans? Bulma hurriedly said to Son Goten. Having spent such a long time with the warriors of the earth, he is naturally very clear about Kalinta's fairy beans. As long as there is still a breath, it can make people fully recover. Don't bother. I can recover from Trunks' injury. Son Goten shook his head. Then his right hand was placed gently on Son Goten's chest. A grass-green healing energy instantly began to spread throughout the body. In an instant, the shocking wounds on Trunks began to heal at a speed visible to the naked eye. At the same time, his weak breath began to recover little by little. Cut! Damn it! As the wound recovered, Trunks' complexion became worse and worse. He clenched his fists tightly, still murmuring incessantly, until all the wounds on his body were completely healed, and his breath was fully recovered. Trunks snapped his eyes open, jumped out of bed. The moment he saw Son Goten, flames of anger burst out of his eyes. UBD, with a leap of his body, he directly picked up his Sword of the Brave. Then he flew up and slashed down hard towards Son Goten, because the guy in front of him is exactly the same as the guy who destroyed the Earth before. He subconsciously thought it was that guy who followed. Trunks, stop now. Bulma saw that the Trunks who had come to life actually made a move on Goten and immediately yelled loudly. Son Goten is sticking out with his index finger. He easily blocked Trunks, Sword of the Brave. Hey Trunks, wake up. I am not your enemy. Son Goten also said lightly. After hearing the voices of Bulma and Son Goku, Trunks also seemed to regain consciousness. Looking at Son Goten in front of him, it seems that he is indeed different from Black Goku. Their clothes and their eyes are completely different, and the person in front of him is a bit smaller than Black Goku. Then he quickly turned his head and looked around. Just saw Bulma and Kling. Mama, Uncle Kling. Trunks looked at the scene in front of him in disbelief. because he clearly remembered that his mother had been killed by the Black Goku in order to help him successfully go to the past time and space. And the mother in front of him seemed much younger and more beautiful than the one in his time and space. This shows that he successfully traveled to the past time and space. Mother Trunks hugged Bulma as soon as sad memories flooded his mind. Vent the sadness in my heart. It's okay, Trunks. There will be no more trouble. Looking at the extremely sad Trunks, Bulma immediately patted his back and began to comfort him. He could totally feel Trunks' sadness at the moment. One can imagine what kind of pain he suffered in his own time and space. After finding 823 minutes later, Trunks also let go of Bulma. Then he turned his attention to Son Goten. "Are you Uncle Goku?" Trunks asked with some uncertainty. The person in front of him is much younger than Uncle Goku, but the appearance is exactly the same as Uncle Goku. Did something happen to make Uncle Goku younger? Forehead, both Son Goten and Kellen were stunned. He actually recognized Goten as Goku. But it's no wonder that in the time and space that Trunks went to, Son Goten hadn't been born yet. So it is not surprising to admit that Goten is wrong. Trunks, he's not Goku. Goku, Vegeta, and the other fighters were all killed by Cell 8 years ago when they fought. He is Goten, son of Goku, younger brother of Gohan. Bulma also quickly opened his mouth to explain. "Nah, Nanny. Uncle Goku's son. Also, you said that Uncle Goku in this time and space were all killed by Cell." Trunks looks unbelievable because of the time and space he had been to, although Uncle Goku was killed by the artificial human Cell. But Dad, Uncle Piccolo, and Brother Gohan were not killed by Cell. Instead, they teamed up to kill Cell. Have you traveled through the wrong time and space? Yes, 8 years ago. Both Bulma and Kellen said sadly. After all, they have lost their best friends, as well as the people closest to them. Wrong. It seems that I really traveled through the wrong time and space. In this case, it's over. The energy of the time machine is also used up. Trunks lowered his head remorsefully. He used the only time machine energy to go to the past time and space for help, just to hope that Uncle Goku and Dad can solve the Black Goku. But now through the wrong time and space, the time and space where Dad and Uncle Goku were killed by Cell. Is my time and space really hopeless? Trunks, the power possessed by the current Goten, has already completely surpassed Goku and Vegeta, and even reached an unimaginable level for Goku and the others. So you don't have to be so desperate. After seeing Trunks' desperate expression, Clint immediately spoke. What? Are you saying Goten is stronger than Uncle Goku and Papa? After hearing Kling's words, Trunks looked at Son Goten in disbelief. He really couldn't believe it, because Goten is still very young. Even if he started practicing from the mother's womb, it is impossible for him to surpass Uncle Goku and Dad. Well, and it's a world of difference. Clint nodded firmly, and at this moment, a powerful evil breath also suddenly appeared from the earth. At the same time, a huge purple black hole appeared in the sky above Shidu. 073 God. So vulnerable, one punch pierces Black Goku, asking for flower evaluation tickets. The moment he felt the evil aura appear, Trunks' expression instantly became serious and angry. This breath is the Black Goku, who destroyed the future Earth and killed 99% of the human beings on the Earth. Of course, that's what they call the guy, because he looks exactly like Uncle Goku, but his personality is completely different. That guy is simply a murderous demon. In his eyes, human beings are like ants, killing wantonly. He even called it a filthy creature. It's such a strong breath, and it's very evil. Kellen also felt the anger immediately. After being transformed into an artificial human, although others cannot feel his breath, but he could clearly feel the anger of others. This is one of his strengths now. Everyone can't feel his anger and may relax their vigilance against him. When the time comes to launch an attack, it may have unexpected effects. Goten Uncle Clint, this aura, is the guy who destroyed the future time and space. We call him Black Goku. I didn't expect this guy to travel through time and space and follow here. This is troublesome, and it may cause a devastating blow to this time and space. Trunks immediately retracted his Sword of the Brave and put it on his back, ready to fight Black Goku. Anyway, this time he must defeat Black Goku. Absolutely don't let him do whatever he wants in this time and space. Let's go. Let's go and have a look. I am very interested in this guy. Son Goten said calmly. Goku is really black now, and his strength is actually very weak. Although he obtained Son Goku's body with the Super Shenron, he still can't fully control the power. Not to the extent of Super Saiyan God. So it is not difficult to completely erase him? Trunks nodded quickly. Then everyone walked out of the house. In the sky, a huge purple-black hole appeared at this time. In the black hole, purple lightning flashes. In the next second, a figure flashed out of the black hole. The appearance is exactly the same as Son Goku, and the figure is exactly the same. It's just that there is a green earring on the right ear and the space-time ring on the finger. As for this guy's martial arts uniform, just like their aura, it is pure black. And the eyes are exactly the same as Son Goku. Giggle. This BD. Trunks clenched his fists tightly. Watching the Black Goku suddenly appear in the sky. Angry flames flickered in his eyes. It is estimated that in the future time and space, his mother and Xiao will have all been killed by him. Oh, Trunks, and Krillin and that brat, son of Son Goku? Just when everyone was watching the Black Goku in the sky, this guy also found Son Goten and the others. Quickly recognized Trunks and Kling, because after obtaining Son Goku's body, he also obtained Son Goku's memory. Naturally knew Kling and quickly guessed the identity of Son Goten. Because in the time and space when he took away Son Goku's body, Son Goten was by Son Goku's side at that time. And he also killed Son Goten mercilessly. I didn't expect Son Goten in this time and space to grow longer. But since they were inexplicably teleported to this time and space, let's kill them all too. Son Jun. Bulma looked at the Black Goku, who was exactly the same as Son Goku in the sky, and murmured in a low voice, "Mom, that guy is not Uncle Goku." Trunks gave a reminder. Then he directly pulled out the Sword of the Brave behind him and let out a roar. Ha! With a deep roar, Trunks directly turned into the form of Super Saiyan 2. He is the only fighter in the future time and space, so he trains desperately every day. Since it was Android 17 and 18 and Cell that killed the future time and space, he has also been guided by Master Quan. So now, the form of Super Saiyan 2 has been fully mastered. But even so, he is still no match for Black Goku. And that partner will become stronger and stronger as they fight. Damn devil, I will definitely end you this time. After turning into Super Saiyan 2, Trunks' body flickered and disappeared in place instantly. When it appeared again, it was already on top of Black Goku. Holding the Sword of the Brave with both hands, he slashed straight down. Good, so amazing. I didn't expect Trunks to become so powerful, and now he is not weaker than Goku and the others. Seeing the speed and strength of Trunks, Kling was incomparably surprised. Although the Trunks at this time can only become the form of Super Saiyan 2. But the strength and speed he displayed just now are obviously no weaker than Super 3's Goku. I don't know how this kid trained alone to become so strong. Loneliness and despair can make a person stronger quickly, because he doesn't have any support in the future time and space. All the enemies can only be solved by himself. So he has to force himself to become stronger in order to deal with all enemies and protect the Earth. After hearing Kellen's surprise, Son Goten explained lightly. In fact, he had this feeling before. At that time, he was also the last hope of the Earth. So he can understand the feeling of Trunks very well and understand why he has become so strong. Because behind him, there is no longer any support. All things must depend on oneself. After hearing Son Goten's words, Kellen turned his head and took a look. Then I thought to myself, Goten, is this why you have risen to such a level in such a short period of time? And this time in midair, faced with Trunks' strenuous blow, Black Goku's expression remained unchanged. Because in the future time and space, they have fought countless times. He's completely used to the fighting style and power of Trunks. This kind of power will not cause any harm to him at all. Grabbed the brave sword of Trunks directly. The black energy ball instantly condensed from the other hand, It then exploded directly on Trunks' chest. Boom! Accompanied by a violent explosion, Trunks' body was directly blown away. A cloud of black mist from the explosion also appeared in the sky. After flying dozens of feet away, Trunks burst into breath again to stabilize his body. It's just that at this time, Black Goku's body has reached the top of her head. With a roundabout kick, the instep hit Trunks hard on the neck. Boom! Rumble! At the same time, Trunks' body slammed into the ground. The ground was also smashed into a huge sinkhole. Obviously, even Trunks with super strength is not worth mentioning in front of Black Goku. Alright, Trunks. Kling quickly helped Trunks to his feet. Then he looked solemnly at the Black Goku in the sky and said in a low voice, "That guy's strength is really too strong. It is estimated that even if Goku is resurrected, he is not his opponent. As for myself, I'm no match for that guy. Although I trained with Whis for a whole month, the basic combat power has indeed been greatly improved, but he can't transform to increase the calendar area like the subhumans. Okay, let me meet this Black Goku," Son Goten said to the crowd. Then the body slowly appeared in front of Black Goku. "Hey, you dare to break into the earth without authorization. You're a bit too courageous." Son Goten stared at Black Goku and said indifferently. He swore before that once these evil guys step into the earth, he will definitely send them to hell. Although the Black Goku in front of him is not from this time and space, he is absolutely no exception. "Cut! Smelly brat, you are Son Goku's youngest son. In my time and space, you were crushed to death by me like an ant." Black Goku raised a devilish smile at the corner of his mouth and then said to Son Goten, "Although the kid in front of him is not the same as the one he killed, but their ending will definitely be the same. Is that so? If that's the case, then you're even more damned," Son Goten said in an extremely indifferent tone. "Smelly brat, don't get carried away in front of God. In the eyes of God, you are nothing but a bunch of dirty, ignorant bugs." Seeing Son Goten's indifferent expression, Kuro Goku became angry instantly. These stupid and dirty human beings are always so self-righteous. This is why he tried every means to eliminate all human beings, because these dirty humans will only pollute this beautiful universe. After all these dirty creatures are cleaned up, the universe will be restored to goodness. He will also create his own paradise. Supreme Kai, a mere candidate for the 10th universe, dares to speak wild words. In my opinion, you're the self-righteous bug. Son Goten's tone was still indifferent, and he didn't pay attention to Black Goku at all. Even the gods of destruction of their 10th universe, the current Son Goten is not afraid at all. What's more, it is a candidate Supreme Kai who has taken away someone else's body. Just rubbish. You stubborn bug, die! Black Goku roared angrily. Unexpectedly, the kid in front of him was more annoying than Son Goku. If that's the case, let's destroy him too. By the way, the planet is completely destroyed. The moment the roar fell, Zamis's body rushed directly to Son Goten. While not doing any Saiyan transformations, his speed and strength are clearly above the Trunks. Watch out for Goten. That BD is insanely strong. Trunks also quickly opened his mouth to remind. After all, Goten is too young. He felt that there was no way he could be a match for Black Goku. The moment Black Goku punches, Son Goten grabbed his fist straight away, then twisted out. Click! At the same time as the crisp bone-cracking sound, Black Goku's entire arm was completely deformed. Zai Minging lost his combat capability. In the next second, Son Goten's body disappeared like a ghost. At this moment, none of them could see Sun Wu clearly. Action of the day. Only the crisp sound of cracking bones could be heard continuously. Click! Almost in the blink of an eye, Black Goku's limbs were completely snapped off. Ah! At the same time as the shrill scream sounded, Black Goku's eyes were also flickering with a look of incomparable horror. Why does the brat in front of me feel stronger than Son Goku? It's so different from the Son Goten I killed. At this moment, an unprecedented sense of fear arose in his heart. He is obviously just a stinky brat, yet he has such great power, even stronger than the Son Goku I saw before. I don't have vertigo. Trunks was completely dumbfounded seeing the black Goku, who was completely crippled in the blink of an eye. He rubbed his eyes vigorously, wondering if he was delusional. Goten's strength is so powerful, but they didn't see what was going on, and they completely disabled black Goku's ability to fight. Is this the so-called god? Vulnerable rubbish. Next, say goodbye to this beautiful world. Looking at the terrified black Goku, Son Goten's tone was still extremely indifferent. With that look, he didn't take black Goku seriously at all. What if he becomes Super Saiyan Toko? What if I become a combined Zamasu? Son Goten, who has mastered his own mind, doesn't pay attention to them at all. No, impossible. It's absolutely impossible. Black Goku was still muttering in disbelief. After planning for such a long time, I finally found the super wishing beads and change bodies with Son Goku. Are you going to perish in this ghost place today? I'm not reconciled. But now he has completely lost the ability to resist. Just like the fish on the board, it is ready to be slaughtered. Just when black Goku looked at Son Goten in disbelief, Son Goten's body flashed out again. Then a heavy punch went straight through black Goku's body. Poof! Following this, black Goku's pupils also expanded rapidly. An extremely frightened, well done, breath of death instantly enveloped him completely. He never expected that after following Trunks to this time and space, he would be instantly killed in an instant. Is his grand ambition coming to an end here? And at this moment, no one noticed that the space-time ring on black Goku's finger suddenly emitted a faint light. Immediately afterwards, the purple black hole behind him also quickly began to close. Whoosh! In the next second, black Goku's scarred body was directly absorbed by the purple black hole. What's going on? Black Goku is gone. Seeing the black Goku being sucked in by the purple black hole, Trunks panicked. If this guy is allowed to escape to the future time and space, then the future time and space will really be finished. Those who survive will definitely all be killed. Did it run away? It seems that I was a little too careless just now. It's better not to have this kind of thing happen in the future. Looking at the purple black beans and black Goku's body that had completely disappeared, Son Goten raised his eyebrows slightly and said to himself, "But it's not a big problem. Even if this guy becomes stronger again, I can still kill him easily. And if Black Goku didn't die, he could just go to the future time and space. Acquire Zamasus's undying body. That kind of ability is still very useful for now." Whoosh! Then the body flashed and returned to the front of Trunks and Kellen. "Goten, did that guy escape?" Kellen asked quickly. "Well, I was a little too careless just now, and I forgot that he still has the ability to travel through time and space. But it's not a big problem, because the space-time of Trunks is completely resolved," Son Goten said lightly, just in time to kill Zamasu and pick up the undead body. In this way, there is no need to waste the wishing opportunity of the Super Dragon Ball. 074 fitting Zamasu. Incomparable Spirit of God subscription required. OMG. OMG. Is this really Uncle Goku's Son Goten? This kind of strength is really terrifying to kill Black Goku in an instant. Even Uncle Goku and Big Brother Gohan couldn't do this. At this moment, Trunks was completely dumbfounded and extremely shocked. My heart was churning with turbulent waves. Unexpectedly, there is such a powerful energy hidden in Goten's body, and this kind of power can obviously kill Black Goku completely in an instant. The place just now was also escaped by him, mainly because of carelessness. After being shocked, Trunks immediately asked Son Goten, "Goten, can you please go to the future time and space to help solve the Black Goku? With your strength, you can completely eliminate him." He had seen Goten's strength just now, and more importantly, Goten didn't perform any Saiyan transformations. Just using normal strength instantly made Black Goku lose his fighting power. Even almost killed him. If this power becomes the form of Super Saiyan, I don't know how strong it will be. Okay, then I'll go take a look with you. The guy just now is really annoying. If I don't get rid of him, I will feel very upset. Son Goten nodded without hesitation. The Black Goku just now really made him very upset, especially the guy's evil expression. Of course, The most important thing he wants to go to the future is for Zamasu's immortal body. Although the strength reaches his own level, the immortal sun will not be of much use. But at some point, it can still have unexpected effects. Thank you. Unexpectedly, Son Goten agreed so readily, and Trunks also hurriedly thanked him. Now the future time and space can be saved. Those surviving humans finally don't have to be killed. They finally don't have to live in panic. Mom, can you help me make some time machine energy? Because in our future time and space, resources are very scarce, and the mother over there has exhausted a few years, but only researched the energy for this time and space. Trunks looked at Bulma again and pleaded. It is estimated that on the Earth, only Mother can make the energy of time machine. Well, leave this matter to me. Go back to the future time, and then completely eliminate those villains. Bulma also nodded seriously, 720. After all, the Trunks in front of him is also his son. She naturally didn't want her son to live in that painful environment. Soon Bulma was working on a power source for the time machine, because I've come into contact with the time machine before, so she has almost figured out the energy principle of the time machine. Moreover, the Earth in this time and space has not suffered too much devastating blow. Therefore, many materials for making time machine energy can be easily found. After about 3 hours, Whis packed a lot of delicacies and returned to the capsule company. Goten, Krillin, let's go back. Whis spoke. After all, his main purpose of coming to Earth is to enjoy and pack delicious food. Now that it's done, there's no need to stay on Earth. And if Master Beerus can't find himself after waking up, he will probably be wordy again. Whis, why don't you go back by yourself this time? There are other things on Earth that I need to figure out. Son Goten said to Whis. Other things? Is it related to that kid? He doesn't seem to be from this time and space. Whis looked at Trunks, and just by looking at it, he knew that Trunks did not belong to this time and space. After all, Angel's ability far surpassed their imagination. Yes, he is from the future. The future time and space have suffered a very serious blow. If we don't help, the Earth in the future time and space may be destroyed. Son Goten didn't hide anything, because he knew that such things could not be hidden from Angel. Did you know that traveling through time and space at will is a felony? If Lord Beerus finds out, you will be severely punished. Whis said in a very serious tone. Traveling through time and space at will may pose a very terrifying threat to the two time and space. Just like people from the future time and space travel to this time and space, even if they step on a grass to death, it may lead to the destruction of this time and space. Although the chances of this are low, it's not impossible. Because of such potential danger, God clearly stipulates that human beings are not allowed to travel through time and space at will. Mr. Whis, if you can help me keep this matter a secret, I will treat you to the best food in the world. Son Goten naturally knew Whis' weakness and said directly with a smile. Real? Sure enough, Whis has no resistance to food. There was a look of curiosity and anticipation in his eyes. Yes, Laodan's sauerkraut beef noodles, ham-marinated honey sauerkraut. The taste is definitely infinitely better than the barrel noodles I have eaten before. Of course, in order to show my sincerity, I will give you a few more buckets of self-healing pot. Son Goten replied with a nod. Laodan's sauerkraut noodles marinated by hand is definitely a high-end atmosphere. It couldn't be more suitable to match with an angel-level deity like Whis. I heard it looks very good. Okay, then I will keep it secret for you for the time being. However, it's best not to cause confusion in time and space. Otherwise, it won't be able to hide it when the time comes. Unable to withstand the temptation of delicious food, Whis can only agree to help keep it secret. And as long as it doesn't cause confusion between the two universes, then the problem shouldn't be too big. As long as it is not discovered by Master Zeno and Grand Priest, generally speaking, they will not be punished. Well, don't worry. Son Goten nodded. Then he asked Helen to go to a nearby supermarket to buy a lot of Laodan sauerkraut beef noodles and Zihai pot. These things don't cost much, but they can completely pass the whistling. Sure enough, after getting Laodan's sauerkraut noodles and self-indulgence, Angel Whis went back in a hurry. 3 days later, Bulma finally made the energy source of the time machine, but only one round trip. After simple preparations, Son Goten, Trunks, and Klin also boarded the time machine, ready to go to the future time and space. Goten, Clint, please take care of Trunks. Don't let him get hurt again. Bulma is also very sincerely begging Goten and Kling, because the Trunks in the future time and space have suffered too many injuries. It is estimated that my heart is already riddled with holes. As her own child, she naturally felt extremely distressed. Don't worry, Aunt Bulma. After going back this time, I will completely solve all the crises in the future time and space. Son Goten nodded seriously. Zamasu and Black Goku. Even if they combine themselves, they can easily defeat them. It's just that the undead body may be a little troublesome. I don't know if the destructive power of gods of destruction can completely destroy the undead body. By the way, please tell my mother for me. Please don't worry. After Son Goten said to Bulma again, the time machine started and was instantly surrounded by a white energy zone. Immediately afterwards, he disappeared directly into the capsule company. Everyone, you must come back alive. Looking at the disappearing Trunks and Son Goten, Bulma also prayed in his heart. After going through the bumps in the space-time tunnel, the three finally came to the future time and space. The future time and space at this time, a dim scene, is like the end of the world. Looking around, it was all gray and gloomy, and I couldn't see any dawn of hope. The originally emerald green planet has now become a miasma. The bustling cities and streets have long been riddled with holes and devastated. There was an unpleasant smell of blood in the air. Giggle. Is this really Earth? It's unbelievable that BD actually destroyed the Earth like this. After seeing the Earth in front of him, Kellen murmured in disbelief. His body trembled with anger. Now it seems that the guy who looks exactly like Goku is indeed a demonic existence. There are only a group of ordinary people living on the Earth. Didn't expect to be able to make such a ruthless move. This is definitely a demon from hell, because it is impossible for a creature with a little bit of conscience to do such a cruel thing. Although Son Goten has already seen such a scene in Dragon Ball Super, but seeing it with your own eyes is completely different from seeing it in anime, especially the smell of blood that can be smelled in the air. That smell is full of despair and helplessness. He seemed to be able to see those helpless humans falling in a pool of blood one by one. Those desperate cries for help and helpless cries kept echoing in my ears. Unknowingly, a powerful force was uncontrollably released from Son Goten's body. Trunks and Kellen also quickly looked at Son Goten. Because of that powerful force, they can clearly feel it. Those two demons are absolutely unforgivable. Sun Wu clenched his fists tightly and said in an extremely cold tone, "If Black Goku and Zamasu are not completely eliminated, how many innocent human beings will suffer?" Then Trunks began to sense the surrounding breath with his eyes closed. Less than a minute later, he felt two breaths. One of them is the aura of the former Black Goku, and the other is the aura of God. Obviously, that breath is Zamasu's. "Trunks, Mr. Kling, I can already feel the breath of Black Goku. Let's go." Although Son Goten's tone seemed very calm, both Klin and Trunks could feel the monstrous killing intent. It seems that Black Goku is going to be in bad luck this time. The two also nodded quickly. Then the bodies of the three disappeared in place in an instant. And at this time, in a simple bamboo house on the outermost edge of the earth, both of them had very heavy faces. And these two people are naturally the Black Goku and Zamasu that Son Goten they are looking for. The reason why they went so far was to restore Hei Wu empty wounds. After being punched through the body by Son Goten earlier, he almost died. Fortunately, Zamasu's healing ability repaired his body in time and healed the injury. And after his body is healed, his strength has also been greatly improved. Damn, that stinky brat, Son Goten, actually came after me. At this time, Black Goku also felt the breath of Son Goten and Trunks. His face instantly became tense and dignified. If it's just Trunks, he can kill him with one finger now. But that Son Goten is just too powerful. The pain he endured before left an indelible fear in his heart. And with this increase in strength, he felt more fear of Son Goten in his heart. Snort! Just a little ghost scares you like this. Doesn't it seem like your style? Besides, after recovering from your injuries, you now have full strength, not weaker than Son Goku. Kill a stinky brat, it should be possible. Zamasu on the opposite side snorted coldly and said to Black Goku with some contempt. This guy was actually scared like this by a human kid. It's really embarrassing to God. You're wrong, Zamasu. My heart is shaking with fear right now, and that speaks volumes about how dangerous Son Goten is. I did look down on all humans before, but these subhumans are an exception. Although, as the most noble god in the universe, I am very reluctant to admit this. Black Goku said with an extremely serious face, and Son Goten's aura is rapidly approaching here. The fear in his heart is also spreading little by little. Then, according to what you say, what should we do? Zamasu looked at Black Goku as if he didn't seem to be lying, so he asked. After all, although he has an immortal body, his basic combat effectiveness is too poor. If a fight did break out, it would have to be resolved by Black Goku alone. Fit! Become a combined Zamasu will definitely be able to completely eliminate that stinky brat. Isn't this also our ultimate goal? As long as the fusion is completed, Human Project Zero is no problem at all. Black Goku spoke immediately. Now their time is running out. If Son Goten and the others come to the door with that decisive fighting style, it is estimated that they will not be given a chance for fusion. Start Project Zero early? Then let's start anyway, sooner or later. Zamasu could only nod his head. Next, let those stupid people have a good experience of the power of the Supreme God. Then Zamasu directly took off the light green Pot-era earring on his right ear. At that moment, the bodies of the two were directly sucked together by a terrifying suction force. The whole bamboo house was instantly brightened. An incomparably powerful divine energy was also instantly born on the earth. 075, the legendary Super Saiyan 2. The weak immortal god, subscription required, and Son Goten and Trunks who were flying towards Zamasu and Black Goku. After seeing that dazzling ray of light, all three of them stopped and moved on. At this moment, Trunks and Kellen couldn't feel Zamasu's breath at all. But Son Goten, who has mastered the ego, feels it very clearly. What happened to the light just now? Is it released by the Black Goku from before? Kellen quickly looked at Son Goten and asked. Although I don't know what happened, I can't feel the guy's breath anymore. But for some reason, I always feel that something bad will happen, and I feel uneasy. Trunks is also extremely doubtful, because every time I see Black Goku, the flames around his body are all black. Why was the light just now white? And in an instant, the help is like the sun, illuminating the entire dim earth. We'll find out soon. Son Goten simply replied. He knows very well that Mas and Black Goku definitely fit together. Perhaps it was because Black Goku felt powerful before, so he didn't choose to risk fighting alone. It took a long time for these two guys to clear the plan for human beings, and it took a lot of thought. I definitely don't want any mistakes in the middle. That's why the integration is so fast. And in their minds, it is estimated that they have already become a factor that threatens their ultimate goal. At this moment, a silver-white light rose slowly from not far away. Go, and have a look. Son Goten flashed first, followed by Kling and Trunks. In a moment, it has appeared to the place where the white light rises. At this time, the figure of the combined Zamasu also appeared in front of the three of them. What the hell is going on here? Who is this guy? Why have I never seen him before? Trunks looked at the person in front of him in great horror, with great doubts. In front of Zamasu's body, dazzling aura shone around his body, just like the light of a perfect ultra instinct. The breath of God is rapidly expanding. Nanny, although I can't feel any breath, but this overwhelming sense of oppression is too strong. What the hell is this guy? Kellen also frowned tightly. There is no doubt that this guy definitely possesses a power that completely surpasses him. But why did such a guy suddenly appear? And his hairstyle is exactly the same as when Goku turned into Super Saiyan. Ha! Mortal, be frightened by this power beyond your imagination. Then quickly kneel down and worship. Fusion with an infinitely improved body and an immortal body. Now I am Zamasu, the most powerful god with immortality. After seeing Son Goten and the others appear, Zamasu opened his arms and muttered to himself. The moment the voice fell, the gorgeous spiritual energy around the body suddenly turned into a silver-white halo and appeared behind him. At this time, Zamasu really looked like a god. However, his body has that evil spirit which is stronger than gods of destruction. Giggle damn it. Although I don't know what's going on with you, BD, I will definitely not allow you to continue destroying the earth. Looking at Zamasu, who became more and more powerful in front of him, Trunks couldn't bear it anymore. Pull out the Sword of the Brave behind you directly, and instantly become Super Saiyan 2. Then rush directly to Zamasu. Stupid and ignorant bugs, haven't you realized the gap between us? Do you still want to resist before God? Still the same? Human beings are always so stupid and self-righteous. Accept the punishment and judgment of the strongest god. After Zamasu's self-righteous voice fell, purple lightning suddenly released from the silver halo behind him. 3 bolts of lightning struck Trunks, Son Goten, and Kling at the same time. Boom! Kling and Trunks were instantly knocked away by the purple lightning. After all, the power they have now has not reached the level of Super Saiyan God at all. The combined Zamasu in front of me has already far exceeded this level. Son Goten remained motionless, completely ignoring the attack. With his current physical strength, this level of offense poses no threat to him at all. Even if you give up all your defenses, it's impossible to harm him. At this time, the fit Zamasu also looked at Son Goten. It's just that at this moment, there is no trace of fear on their faces. Son Goten, I have to say that you possess power beyond that of a god. This is the failure of the gods. They actually let the toys they created have power beyond their masters. But soon I will completely clean up the mistakes made by the gods and let the light of justice shine on this land. And wherever the divine light goes, you filthy things will all disappear. Zamasu opened his hands and looked down at Son Goten. I completely forgot the scene where I was almost F-ed to death by Son Goten. I've said a lot of nonsense. If you have any skills, just show me. Son Goten just replied coldly. Even Zamasu, after merging, he doesn't pay attention at all. The only thing that makes him feel troublesome, perhaps, is this guy's undead body. However, the effect of the undead body after the Black Goku fusion has been greatly weakened. Maybe the power of destruction can completely destroy him. Stupid creature, haven't you recognized the gap between us? In front of the most powerful gods, you are just a small bug that can be crushed to death. Accept the baptism of light well. After Zamasu's irritated voice fell, purple energy suddenly burst out from the halo behind him. In an instant, it turned into a giant purple bird. Absolute thunder. Then, a purple thunderbolt like a python blasted towards Son Goten. Son Goten didn't dodge. Let the lightning strike him, because he knew very well that such things could not cause him the slightest harm. Not to mention that his body contains Majin Buu's cells. Even if it is crushed into powder, so what? He can still recover easily. The purple lightning instantly engulfed Son Goten completely. But after the purple lightning disappeared, Son Goten stood still intact. Obviously, the thunder and lightning just now did not affect him in the slightest. Didn't even make him take half a step back. Nanny. Zamasu finally showed a panicked look on his face. The absolute thunder, just now, can easily kill even ordinary gods. But I didn't expect it to have no effect on Son Goten at all. This is the power of the so-called strongest god. It's not even a tickle. Next, I'll show you the calendar area in your mouth. Son Goten patted his chest lightly. His tone was calm, and his eyes really became serious. If you want to get rid of Zamasu completely, the power of normality obviously cannot do it. Then it is necessary to change into the form of the legendary Super Saiyan. Of course, it would be a little too cheap for Zamasu to destroy him easily. All his self-esteem and self-righteousness must be completely crushed to make him understand how weak he is. And human beings are definitely not the ants in his mouth. Ha! In the next second, A deep roar roared out from Son Goten's throat. An unparalleled and terrifying power was also released from Son Goten's body instantly. Rustle the grass-green gaseous flames continuously slapped the surrounding air. Circles of energy ripples spread in all directions. Rumble! At the same time, the world changed color. Under the irradiance of the grass-green flames, the entire sky and the earth turned green. At the same time, golden lightning bolts like giant pythons descended from the sky. What? Is this Goten's true strength? It's unbelievable what kind of training you have gone through to improve your strength to this level. Trunks felt the unparalleled, terrifying power, and the shock in his heart was like a raging wave. He never thought that a Scion's power could reach such a level. Goten is like that, it's always a surprise. Every time you transform, your strength will improve qualitatively. Kellen said proudly, "It is indeed a matter of pride to be friends with Goten. But why is the breath around Goten's body green? I remember that after our other Scions became Super Scions, their breath should be golden." At this time, Trunks also found something was wrong. Goten at this moment is obviously preparing to become Super Saiyan, but the breath around his body is green, completely different from them. This did surprise him a bit, because I've never seen it like this before. That's what makes Goten different. He's totally different from other Scions after transforming. You'll know soon. Kellen also responded vaguely, because she doesn't know why Goten's hair and ki are green after transformation. This is indeed different from the previous Super Saiyan form. No, impossible. How did that little devil's breath become so powerful? Are you kidding? It's just a filthy human being as weak as an ant. Why did he gain such powerful power? This is definitely the greatest humiliation to God. Feeling the outrageously strong aura of Son Goten, Zamasu was completely dumbfounded. Originally thought that after they fit together, they could easily crush all human beings to death. But Son Goten in front of him, why does he have such a powerful body? This force is so powerful that he can't believe it. At this moment, even he himself doubted his own strength. After the fusion, the infinitely expanding power is actually not as good as an ant in his eyes. Just when everyone was extremely shocked, Son Goten has finally completed his transformation. Rustle! The grass-green flames continuously hit the air, making a rustling sound. The golden arc flickered around the body like a small snake. The hair turned green and the pupils turned golden. Impressively, at this time Son Goten directly became Chuanchao heir. Since he wants to completely crush all of Zamasu's self-confidence, he must show all his strength. Make him helpless. After transforming into Super 2, Son Goten raised his head and glanced at the panicked Zamasu. Then he joked coldly, "Zamasu, look at your expression. Are you scared? It's ridiculous to be afraid of an ant in your mouth. It seems that you, the most powerful god, don't seem to be doing well." Hearing Son Goten's ridicule, Zamasu was also furious. "Ants, don't think that you can be so arrogant after gaining some power. God is an existence that you can never surpass. I will use your blood to verify this eternal truth." Zamasu growled angrily, although Son Goten's power made him feel fear. But with an immortal body and the most perfect body, it is absolutely impossible to be defeated, and it will continue to improve in the battle until it completely kills the opponent. Swish! The moment the roar fell, Zamasu's body appeared directly in front of Son Goten. Then he punched out. He knew that the energy attack just now could not have any impact on Son Goten at all. Then there is only hand-to-hand combat. The moment Zamasu baked his fist, Son Goten greeted him with the same punch. Boom! Boom boom! The moment the two fists collided, terrifying shock waves spread in all directions. The ruins of the city under their feet were directly reduced to powder by the shock wave. A huge sinkhole is spreading rapidly on the ground. The earth, which was already dilapidated, is even more crumbling at this moment. Uncle Kling, I'm going to see the survivors. Feeling the battle between Son Goten and Zamasu, Trunks knew that if the fight continued like this, the earth would be destroyed, and the remaining survivors will also be killed. So he had to rescue those people first. Those people are his last belief in protecting the earth. Good. Clint nodded quickly. And at this moment, after the punch collided, Zamos's body was directly blasted thousands of feet away. The entire arm lost feeling in an instant. Click, click, click. Immediately afterwards, an extremely crisp cracking sound sounded behind him. Then I saw that the halo behind Zamasu began to appear cracks. With the last sound, it directly turned into a little bit of starlight. With just one punch collision, the creature directly shattered Zamasu's halo. Dirty ants are unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. Zamasu saw that his halo had been shattered by a punch, and he roared like a beast. Shame. This is an absolute shame. Only by killing the ant in front of him can this shame be washed away. But just wait for him to make a move. Son Goten's body turned into a green lightning bolt. In the blink of an eye, Zamasu was in front of him, and a right hook landed in Zamasu's face hard. The whole face is also deformed in an instant. Good job, Goten. That's it. Take care of that demon. Kellen cheered with excitement. Looking at Zamasu's aura when he first appeared on the stage, I thought he was very powerful. I didn't expect to be so vulnerable in front of Goten. It is simply the power of parrying, and there is no power to fight back. Bang, bang, bang. Son Goten's speed is extremely fast, and he kicks Damas around like a ball. And Zamasu had no strength to fight back at all. The endless humiliation in my heart feels more uncomfortable than his death boom. Rumble. Son Goten punched Zamasu on the head again. Zamasu's body smashed directly into the ground like a falling meteorite. If Zamasu stood up immediately, I have to say that this guy's undead body is really troublesome enough. If there is no undead body, it is estimated that the attack just now has completely eliminated him. Stop it, damn ants. I am the most powerful undead god. There should be a limit to getting carried away. Zamasu roared with fury all over his face. But the moment his voice fell, Son Goten directly picked up his ankle and began to swing it left and right. Cut. A weak god. 76 gods of destruction posture. The undead body is in hand. Zamasu is scared silly. Subscription required. Son Goten sneered with disdain, and then increased his strength in his hands. Boom, boom, boom. Zamasu's body kept slapping the ground, and the huge sinkholes on both sides continued to spread towards the surroundings. At this time, Zamasu not only endured the pain caused by his body, but all his self-righteous self-esteem and sense of superiority were pressed to the ground and rubbed fiercely. Rumble. Along with the continuous vibration of the ground, the surrounding cracks continued to spread, just like giant pythons spreading around. If this continues, the earth will really be destroyed. Kellen looked at the python-like crack on the ground and the red magma in the crack, and said with a frown, "Of course, Son Goten knows this too. The earth has long since become too dilapidated to be inhabitable. Moreover, the light that survives in this universe has already been destroyed by Zamasu. So even if the earth survives, it is definitely not suitable for human beings to continue living. If so, destroy it." Boom, boom, boom. At this time, Zamasu was thrown around like a pile of garbage, and his immortal body seems to have begun to change little by little. The broken body. Purple mucus like mud began to emerge from the wound. This meant that his immortal body began to disintegrate little by little. If it was Zamasu who was purely undead, such an attack would definitely not kill him. It is estimated that there will be no wounds left on his body. But after combining with Black Goku, the power of the undead body is greatly weakened, because Black Goku doesn't have an immortal body. Boom! Son Goten slammed Zamasu into the ground again, then stomped on his face. At this moment, Zamasu's body began to squirm in the 953 and was changing crazily. Dirty human beings, get your stinky feet off the face of God. Unforgivable, unforgivable. Self-esteem was constantly humiliated. Zamasu roared hysterically. But no matter how hard she struggled, she couldn't break free from Son Goten's feet. At this time, the pain he suffered physically was far less than 1/10,000th of the humiliation he suffered mentally. Aren't you the greatest god? Break free if you have the ability. I'm tired of hearing your useless yelling. Stand up quickly. I'm looking forward to being strangled to death by you. Son Goten looked down at Zamasu and said in a cold voice, To deal with this kind of guy who has no humanity at all, he must be completely defeated in the most cruel way. Indeed, Zamasu was indeed crushed. At this moment, his inner belief was crumbling little by little. In his consciousness, human beings are completely unable to defeat gods. What's more, he has now become the most powerful god, a combination of an immortal body and the strongest physical body. How could a figure representing absolute justice be defeated by a human being? It seems that you no longer have any ability to resist me. Since this is the case, there is no need for you to live. Son Goten's voice was still extremely indifferent. At this moment, he could feel that the faith in Zamasu's heart was crumbling a little bit. Now is the best time to kill him. But the problem is I didn't pick up this guy's undead body. In this way, it can be regarded as a waste of time. This kind of thing he will not allow. As soon as he thought of this, Son Goten waved his fists directly, facing Zamasu's face with a left and right bow. In a moment, Massey's face has been completely deformed. The original green skin has now turned into a pool of purple mud. That kind of appearance really makes people want to vomit. At the same time, Son Goten could also feel that Zamasu's divine aura was rapidly weakening. Ding! Congratulations to the host for picking up the immortal body. Just when Son Goten tortured Zamasu for 5 minutes, the electronic synthesis of the system sounded in his mind. Is the undead body finally available? Son Goten had a look of joy on his face. The most important thing in his trip to the future time and space is to obtain an immortal body. It is precisely because of this purpose that he did not get rid of Zamasu easily. Now I've got what I want. Then Zamasu has no value in existence. At this moment, Zamasu's entire face had been beaten into a puddle of purple mud. His undead body obviously can't play a big role anymore. Damn humans. Ants. Unforgivable. Zamasu was still roaring like a beast. Perhaps this is his last stubbornness. Zamasu, you have no value left. Next, completely disappear from this world. After acquiring the immortal body, Son Goten also completely lost interest in Mas. Although Zamasu after the fit is indeed very strong, but Son Goten immediately showed his full strength from the beginning. There is still a huge gap between the strength of the two of them. So this kind of battle is not fun at all. Ha ha! Stupid creatures. I am an immortal body. It is a daydream to actually try to kill me. In this matter, every inch of Zamasu's body is soft, but this mouth is still hard. I have to say, this guy's mouth is really hard. It's such a time, and I can still laugh. And I also feel that Son Goten has nothing to do with him. I don't know if it's self-confidence or stupidity. Yeah, you are really very confident. Then I'll let you take a good look at my methods. Keep your eyes open and take a good look. The corner of Son Goten's mouth curled up into an evil curve, then directly exited the transformation of Chuanchao Scion. In the next second, the black hair suddenly turned purple. The eyebrows disappeared and the bones were raised high. A purple aura suddenly appeared around the hole. At that moment, Son Goten's aura also became the aura of God. And it was the aura of gods of destruction. A sharp killing intent shot out from those long and narrow eyes. It's a self-conscious gesture. Nanny, breaking gods of destruction? Impossible? Absolutely impossible. How could a mere filthy ant turn into gods of destruction? Seeing the attitude of Son Goten in front of him, Zamasu was completely terrified, and the anger in his eyes became more and more violent. The scion in front of him is obviously just a dirty human bug. But why can God's breath erupt from his body? And the breath of the gods of destruction? Look at his posture, just like the real gods of destruction. A huge sense of oppression also lingered in my heart instantly. Nothing is impossible. You're just a stubborn frog in a well. The potential of human beings is something you can never imagine, and the Scion is a race you will never understand. After Son Goten's indifferent voice fell, a purple destructive energy instantly hit Zamasu's forehead. Zamasu was so frightened that purple mucus flowed all over his face. I'm almost terrified now. But at this moment, Son Goten didn't want to give him any chance at all. Destroy. The moment the cold voice fell, purple energy instantly engulfed Zamasu's body. And at that moment, Massey's body directly turned into a little bit of purple starlight. The breath also disappeared without a trace at this moment. If the guy isn't fusioned, it's really hard to destroy him. It is estimated that even with pure destructive power, it is difficult to do it. But Zamasu, after the fusion, the undead body has long been mixed with too much water. Pure destructive power can completely destroy him. Is the knot over? Has that guy been completely wiped out? And at this time, Trunks came over with the surviving people. Just saw the scene where Zamasu turns into a purple starlight. Well, that guy has been completely destroyed by Yutian. I have to say, Goten is really a monster. This month in the Gods of Destruction world, I obviously haven't cultivated my ultimate will, but now I have mastered it even more perfectly. Kellen nodded and then said with emotion, "A month ago, Goten had only mastered the imperfect ego, and in the past month, basic training was carried out in the Gods of Destruction world. It has never become the form of self-consciousness at all. But now it seems that Goten has clearly mastered the perfect freedom. This guy is simply a cultivation monster. It's true. Goten is really too good." Trunks also nodded in agreement. Rumble. And at this moment, the entire earth began to shake violently. There are more and more cracks on the ground, and they are getting wider and wider. The new red magma emerging from the crack caused the temperature of the entire planet to suddenly increase. It was clear that the planet was about to explode. Whoosh! At this time, Son Goten flashed his body and came in front of Trunks and Kellen. Then he looked at Trunks and said with a bit of guilt, "I'm so sorry, Trunks. This place is about to explode." In fact, if Zamasu was completely destroyed at the beginning of the battle, such a situation should not have been created. But in that case, it is impossible to pick up the undead body. And now such an earth, human beings have long been unable to survive. So even if it doesn't explode, it will probably become a Death Star soon. Don't say sorry, Goten. We should all be thanking you. Without your help, it is estimated that none of us would survive. And this universe has been destroyed by the previous Black Goku. Even the sun on which human beings can survive has been destroyed. Even if the earth does not explode, we will not be able to survive here. Trunks also spoke immediately. He knows that very well. The earth is no longer habitable, so whether it explodes or not doesn't have much impact on them. The question that should be considered now is how to let everyone leave the earth safely. Then find a planet they can adapt to and continue to settle. Okay, let's not discuss this issue for now. Let's get out of here quickly. It's going to explode soon. Kellen quickly confronted the two, said personally. Maybe the explosion of one planet couldn't kill all three of them. But other surviving ordinary humans will definitely be completely killed. More importantly, Trunks do not have the ability to survive in the universe. Once the planet explodes, it is estimated that he will die too. Mr. Kreen is absolutely right. The most important thing right now is to get out of here quickly. Everyone grab each other, and I'm using instant transmission to get everyone out of here. Son Goten nodded and immediately asked everyone to hold hands and form a circle. The panic-stricken people quickly followed suit. Call out! In the next second, Son Goten directly used instant transmission. At the same time, the earth exploded completely. Rumble! A gorgeous firework blooms in the northern Milky Way. In Son Goten, they have also appeared on another planet. However, it looks more desolate than the previous Earth, with no signs of biological activity at all. I can't even feel the slightest breath. In the next minute, Son Goten traveled around several planets with instant transmission. But either it is an extremely desolate planet with no living things, or it is the same as the previous Earth, destroyed by UZ and the others. After killing all the Supreme Kais and Gods of Destruction, this guy can literally do whatever he wants in the 12 universes. Almost all the civilized planets with human beings have been destroyed by them. This universe has been completely dilapidated. Son Goten also has to sigh. Zamasu is indeed a talent. It's just a trainee Supreme Kai. With the effort of one person, he messed up a universe into this appearance. What? How can this be done? All the planets seem to be unsuitable for ordinary 4.4 people to live in. Trunks said solemnly. If it was only him alone, survival would not be a problem. But now there are dozens of ordinary humans, including Xiao Wu. Kellen also had a sad expression on his face. Although he thought of a way just now, he didn't dare to say it, because that way might make gods of destruction Beerus punish them. The current Goten is no match for gods of destruction Beerus. How about, you can follow me to live in our time and space? Everyone has lived on the Earth for decades, and it is estimated that even if they find other planets, they will not be able to get used to it for a while. After struggling for a moment, Son Goten said to Trunks, although this may cause the space-time chaos that Whis refers to, there is no better way at present. Moreover, his own time and space also needed fighters like Trunks. Is this okay? Won't it bother you? Trunks asked. After all, they do not belong to that time and space. Won't. You and that time and space have been killed in the Cell game, and now you are in the past. Aunt Bulma should be very happy. Son Goten shook his head and said, although Beerus seems to be having a hard time going through that level, he has already figured out how to deal with it. It's so good. Really, thank you, Goten. Thank you. Trunks looked at Goten excitedly. Goten, at this point, feels like a reborn parent to all of them. And the survivors behind Trunks were all extremely happy. Seeing this kind of picture, Son Goten is actually very happy in his heart. There is an indescribable sense of accomplishment. 077 Beerus. Follow me to the 10th universe. Kill him. Seeking subscription? Okay, the time machine can take up to 4 or 5 people at a time, so everyone must be picked up in batches. That's up to you, Trunks, but because we have other things to do, we must be sent there first. Son Goten looked at the dozens of people behind Trunks and then spoke. If only instant transmission could time travel. It's a pity that it doesn't work, so everyone can only be picked up in batches. Well, yes, Goten. Trunks nodded quickly. It is a blessing in misfortune that everyone can survive. As for returning to the past time and space a few days earlier or a few days later, no one will care. The first ones to go back were of course Son Goten, Kellen, Trunks, and Xiao Wu. And back to the capsule company. Bulma was very excited when he heard that Trunks could live in this time and space. Because the Trunks of this plane died 8 years ago, and I only saw him for 1 day a month ago. After seeing it, I missed it even more. It would be a great thing if the big special in front of her could be by her side. Subsequently, Bulma also began to study time energy vigorously. Trunks also ran back and forth at both ends, and began to pick up all the other survivors. Goten, are we going back to Gods of Destruction now? After Zamis's matter was resolved, Krillin asked. In fact, he still wants to return to the Gods of Destruction world because under the training of Angel Whis, his strength has indeed improved a little faster. After all, that guy is an old monster that has lived for hundreds of millions of years. Moreover, he is a real god, so the training method he guides can naturally get twice the result with half the effort. Well, let's go back. So many people traveling through time and space at the same time. This is actually a big deal. Master Beerus must be told. Son Goten nodded and spoke. There must be a minimum of respect between people. And what Gods of Destruction Beerus hates most is people who lack the respect he deserves. Now that I tell him this matter, Beerus may not be too angry. But if he found out on his own initiative, then the situation may be 16 points not so good. Before leaving, Son Goten went back to Bowsy Mountain. He told Chi-Chi and Videl that he was going to practice in the Gods of Destruction world. After all, if they go for too long, they will inevitably worry. Although very reluctant, Chi-Chi still agreed. Because they all know that Goten is the hope of this earth. Only when he becomes strong enough can he face any crisis. The world of Gods of Destruction last time left them with lingering fears. If the next enemy is stronger and more ferocious than Gods of Destruction, the Earth is in danger. After leaving Steamed Bun Mountain, Son Goten brought Kellen to the Gods of Destruction realm through instant transmission. Whis was not surprised that Son Goten was able to find the location of the God realm and arrive there in an instant. Because Son Goten used the instant transmission ability when he was fighting Lord Beerus before. As an angel, it is naturally impossible for such things to escape his attention. Goten, what you're doing is too dangerous. It actually brought people from other time and space to this time. Do you know that such an approach may bring a devastating blow to this time and space? Apparently, Whis already knew about Son Goten bringing the Trunks over. Then, he said with a serious face, although the possibility of such a thing happening is extremely low, because the strength of Trunks is really average, but it is not impossible. And since the moment the Trunks appeared in this time and space, to be precise, a parallel time and space has been born. I know, but the time and space of Trunks and them is now uninhabitable. If you leave them in that time and space, they will only die. I'll explain this to Lord Beerus. Son Goten also nodded seriously. In fact, the Trunks in the future time and space have always been soldiers he likes and admires very much. So naturally, I don't want to watch Trunks wait for death in a desperate time and space. And this time and space is too short of fighters. I hope Lord Beerus will listen to your explanation. Originally, I wanted to train you as the next gods of destruction of the 7th universe. But now it seems that you are not suitable for the position of gods of destruction. Whis said lightly. He had indeed always had this idea before. Cultivate Son Goten as the new gods of destruction of the 7th universe. But now it seems that Son Goten is still too kind. It is estimated that a kind-hearted person is very difficult to be qualified for the position of gods of destruction. Maybe. Son Goten just smiled faintly. In fact, he had no idea about the location of gods of destruction. It won't take long for his strength to completely surpass gods of destruction. At that time, it will be just a false title, and I don't care at all. More importantly, gods of destruction is really strong at this stage. It can even be said to be the most cutting-edge existence. But Son Goten is very clear that there are many people stronger than gods of destruction in this world. The angel in front of him has strength far surpassing that of gods of destruction. And on top of Angel, there's the Grand Priest, Xeno's guards, and Xeno himself. Those guys are real superpowers, possessing the strength to destroy a universe with a single thought. And above Xeno, I don't know if there is any more outrageous existence. Okay, let's continue training. Looking at Trunks' determined expression, Whis didn't want to waste time on this matter either. Because Angel is always in a neutral position. Although the Angel's status is higher than the gods of destruction, they can't do anything. All matters can only be decided by Lord Gods of Destruction Beerus. Then a few people started training. In this way, time goes by day. Trunks went back and forth more than a dozen times, and finally took all the survivors to this time and space. After seeing the long-lost Earth, everyone also burst into tears. And on the 8th day, Gods of Destruction Beerus finally woke up. Because in 2 days, it will be time to compete with the 6th universe. Beerus stretched and walked out of his temple. Then Whis is seen training Son Goten and Kling in fighting techniques. The three fought nonstop. Either way, neither of them can hit Whis. After all, this guy's normal state is the perfect Ultra Instinct form. Even Son Goten now has the power to match some of Gods of Destruction. But in front of Angel Whis, it was still not worth mentioning. After training for a few minutes, the three stopped fighting, because their sparring has lasted for a full 6 hours. Son Goten was already sweating profusely. However, Klin, who is an artificial human with infinite energy, did not have any decline in physical fitness at this time. Perhaps this is the benefit of man-made humans. Still can't comprehend the perfect Ultra Instinct. But fortunately, after these days of training with Whis, my strength has also been greatly improved. After the fight stopped, Kellen also said to himself, it seems that with his talent, he really can't comprehend Ultra Instinct. That kind of divine realm is really too unfathomable. In the battle with Whis, Son Goten seemed to understand Ultra Instinct more and more exquisitely. Because he has mastered the Ultra Instinct Mega. Therefore, the understanding of Ultra Instinct is much deeper than that of ordinary people. Hey, Master Beerus has woken up. I thought I'd oversleep again this time. Whis looked up at Beerus, who was watching the battle, and said in surprise. Master Beerus woke up after only sleeping for 400 tacks this time, which is really unexpected. The time of 400 tacks is equivalent to 8 days on the Earth. You know, Master Beerus would sleep for 50 years for a normal nap. It seems that he attaches great importance to the game against the sixth universe this time. This is related to his face and whether he can mock Kampa in the future. Clearly he cares. Hey Whis, how are these two guys training? How have they progressed during this time? Beerus jumped up and appeared in front of Son Goten and the others. Then he asked lightly, Master Beerus, both of them have trained very well, and their perseverance is also very firm. Klin's strength has improved very well. As for Goten, the improvement is even greater. He is now infinitely close to the perfect Ultra Instinct. Whis replied with a smile. I have to say that Goten's training speed is really amazing. In just a few days, I have gone from an imperfect Ultra Instinct to a perfect Ultra Instinct. This kind of powerful comprehension ability, even if it is 12 gods of destruction, I am afraid it is beyond the reach. Oh, that's really good. Although Beerus was very calm on the surface, but I was still very surprised. Son Goten's strength is very strong. More than a month ago, he had almost 1/10 of his power. And now, they will master the perfect Ultra Instinct. If he is given a period of time to grow, maybe his strength will surpass his own. A human being can surpass gods of destruction. This was something he had never thought of before. Master Beerus, Goten seems to have something to tell you. After Whis said to Beerus, he glanced at Son Goten again. Apparently, he was referring to the Trunks thing, although Goten said before that he would explain it to Master Beerus. But as an angel, it is still my duty to remind Lord Beerus after this kind of thing happens. Oh, what's the matter? Tell me. Beerus looked at Son Goten and asked. Forehead. All right, Master Beerus, it's like this. For a minute, Son Goten told Beerus roughly what happened in the future. Then take yourself to Trunks, and they come back, all the same tell the truth. Nanny, boy, do you know that traveling through time and space at will is a felony? And you brought so many people here at this time. It seems that you don't take my gods of destruction seriously at all. Beerus was taken aback for a moment. Then an angry expression appeared on his face. Although he usually doesn't like to pay attention to what happens in the universe. But traveling through time and space at will is expressly forbidden. Master Beerus, the source of this incident is God's fault. This would not have happened if Supreme Kai Zamasu, a candidate for the 10th universe, hadn't randomly destroyed the planet where humans live. Besides, if I remember correctly, Supreme Kai has no right to destroy planets. Son Goten also said with a serious face. In this matter, God was indeed at fault first. You're right. Even Supreme Kai doesn't have the right to destroy planets. It's just a trainee Supreme Kai. How dare he do such a thing? And in the future time and space, they actually killed all the Supreme Kai and gods of destruction. Beerus clenched his fists tightly, obviously very angry. Because according to what Son Goten said just now, the candidate for the 10th universe, Supreme Kai Zamasu, not only destroyed a large number of planets, but also slaughtered hundreds of millions of humans, and actually killed all the Supreme Kai. Let gods of destruction 200 also die. More importantly, even I didn't avoid it. This is absolutely unforgivable thing. Besides, Master Beerus, for our match against the 6th universe this time, apart from me and Klin, the number of the other 3 players has not yet been determined. It is estimated that it will be difficult to find stronger fighters for a while. Trunks is very strong and can just replace our 7th universe in the battle. Son Goten also continued to speak. He did not name Majin Buu. This is to create pressure on Beerus, because there are not many nations with fighting blood in the 7th universe. And now there are only 2 days left before the game against the 6th universe. There are still 3 players who have not been finalized, and Beerus must be anxious. Is that so? Whis. Beerus froze for a moment, then asked quickly. Although traveling through time and space is a felony. But in his opinion, it's not as important as playing against that guy Kampa. But this time the game lost to the 6th universe. That dead fat pig of Kampa will definitely use this matter to mock himself for a long time. Yes, Lord Beerus. Whis could only nod his head. There are indeed not many fighters in the 7th universe. Otherwise, a few decades ago, such a small Frisia could not have been called the Emperor.
No more novels? Take part in the voting. The most requested novels and those with the most likes will be chosen for publication on euroaudiobooks.com. There, I can upload as much as I want without the risk of receiving a strike. R18 novels and other content that exceed what is morally acceptable are only published on Patreon or the free novels page. Remember, the site is funded by donations on Ko-fi and Patreon memberships.